Good morning, and thanks for hanging out. You're watching Funkshop TV. What up, Ben Comedy? This is the Animoto Trial Show. Funkshop TV right here on twitch.tv/Funkshop TV. We do have a new intro. I just keep forgetting to get it from Shawn so we can actually implement it.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
I thought Green was live.
Your mic is on. I'm trying to get our camera set right.
Cool.
Shawn's not here yet. If he's coming, I don't know.
I feel like he's coming. Good morning, y'all.
He'll probably show up. So hope you're doing hope you're doing well. Happy Tuesday. Josh, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
It's a beautiful morning. Dragging ass, but
I kind of squinted. I woke up at like 9:58.
Yeah, pretty much same.
Oh shit.
I hit the snooze one time. I was like, fuck.
Time for me to go downstairs and
Thanks for the cheer.
Hey.
Thanks, Ben. Bendy. Oh, still wiping the sand out the eye.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too.
Yeah, I did myself a little dirty and stayed at the gym extra late last night because they were gonna shut it down at 12, but then the dude who had called in sick actually ended up showing up, so we ended up staying until like 2:30.
Why would that be dirty?
What do you mean?
You said you did yourself dirty. You just
Just
overdid
stayed
it?
way later. Yeah, and then I had to get home and unwind and still eat. So I
Gotcha.
grabbed a burrito on the way home from Mucho's, which was pretty much all the work I did at the gym
Kind of
destroyed.
Made going to the gym
Pretty counterproductive,
a
yeah.
moot point.
But I mean, that's how I equal it out. It's like if I eat a Mucho's, I gotta at least get one gym session in. That way, I feel okay about it.
Uh-huh.
Seems to be working so far. It's keeping everything pretty balanced. So I have no complaints.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the extra 2.5 hours definitely did. It hurt.
Yeah, I haven't posted anything on social media yet, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and we're still waiting on that goddamn Arctic. It's supposed to be today, but I'm pretty much at this point. I expect him to get like a free year service.
Yeah.
Because it's been, I think, 5 days now. Or it'll be 5 days, I think, today.
Wow.
Yeah, and so
yeah,
it's
I had the
supposed
same
to be.
thing happen around Christmas time.
Yeah.
I had some Funko Pops that I ordered that arrived late.
Yeah.
And I failed to
Oh.
go in on them. Took
Well-
them almost 15 days. When
Wow.
When it's supposed to be 3. Yeah.
2 days max is what I was under the impression of for Prime.
Usually, unless it says somewhere in the description on the actual purchase item, it can be a little different.
Yeah.
But it said 3 days, and it took them 15. So.
Wow. That's a joke. I mean, it's still going to be faster than if I ordered off eBay, which is the whole point. It normally takes about a week if I order anything off eBay for some reason, even with the fast and free.
Right.
And so I thought, if I give it to, or if I have him order it, just give him $10 and let him order it, it'll be way faster. And here we sit at almost a week anyway, so.
Right.
But it should be here either today or tomorrow, fingers crossed. But yeah, I already know that he already planned on bitching. He probably did it yesterday, honestly, but I didn't see him. Pretty packed day yesterday trying to get shit done.
Word. One of the things one of the reasons why I was so tolerant, I visualized this little small company, like this little niche toy shop that Amazon talked into becoming a supplier.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, man, Amazon is kind of going the Walmart route of the internet by trying to take over a lot of these little businesses. And there's a lot of reports all over the place that say that they're putting little businesses out of business.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I don't know how much validity there is to it. I really want to do some more research, but
yeah, I've been appreciating in a lot of places they'll do a map and say 1 to 2 days in these zones, normal time, 3 to 4 days, and then 5 to 6 for the rest of the country.
Yeah, thanks for being realistic.
Yeah, and just kind of like let you know like what a time frame is, because like I ordered some new rotors and pads for my car because it was going to be like half as much as going to cost less, and I was going to get the same exact rotor, like same spec, and so 3 to 5 days is what they realistically said, and it sounds like it's going to be here in 4 or whatever. So it's like, okay, so at least you guys are, you know, ballparking and have it somewhat like figured out. I wish every single person could do that, but that's might be unrealistic, you know.
Make life nice.
God, just well, if you know where you're positioned, you should know, or at least be able to do something with your mail carriers, you know, that kind of let you know about the range that they have, what the realistic, you know, capabilities are. But maybe I'm just, you know, overthinking things, because we are getting spoiled in this fucking new day and age. Bluetooth, you just walk in and out of an area and your music continues to play, you know, like it goes from your house and you walk down and get your car, start your car, poof, the song continues exactly where you left it. It's just like, this is getting wild. And then my homeboy because he has the Prime, has the Alexa. So he'll walk in, Alexa, start playing Barry White. Alexa, lights on. Alexa.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's nutty, bro. Like, are we really almost Jetson time? Because it feels like it.
We're not far. We're really not far.
All we need is whatever, the Rosie the Robot, and we got it. I guess, and hovercrafts, but.
Can't even do an audio check.
I can go do audio if you need me to. Okay. Just let me know if I need to adjust.
Pulled it up on my tablet, and
I sound loud.
I turned it all the way up, and then started listening to it, and then an advertisement came on, and the advertisement was like super loud.
Yeah. I do that every time.
Yeah, we're Sean's gonna tune in and watch me like, fuck, he's turning everything up.
Right.
Well, guess what?
Sorry, Shawn.
I'd rather be heard than not. I think part of the reason why we've been dropping viewers lately is because it's been so quiet. People can't even hear it.
Do you think that's why? Because we started yelling yesterday. They're like, we can finally hear them.
Yeah, that might be. No.
I don't think so.
I'm not going to blame that on Shawn.
I really think that something happened yesterday, or like whatever, the accounting just started working.
Yeah, like Twitch is... Ben Comedy, are you still on? Are you still paying attention? Or did you finally pass out? This dude never sleeps, man. Talk about somebody that's dedicated to their craft and their grind.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it.
I don't either. That's what's up. All Day Bronco fan said TV is on 100 volume and it's normal audio. Does that mean that your TV is turned all the way up just so we can have a normal volume level? Does that mean it's too quiet to you?
I think that's kind of what he's alluding to.
Yeah, I'm just double checking before I turn volumes up more. Band Comedy, how's our volume? Just curious. Music too loud, too quiet. Mic's too loud, too quiet. I don't expect you to pay attention, bro. The fact that you're here.
Yeah. So. He's
okay. Yeah. That's what I thought. And I figured we were at like maybe 30% of the volume level that we should be.
Slightly alarming.
Kind of what I anticipated. Sean's such a stickler about quality that I think he kind of forgets about the importance of just people being able to hear it.
Yeah.
We have the right kind of content. People aren't going to care if it's capping out once in a while.
True.
Okay. I'll leave everything where we're at. Thank you. Thank you so much. So the first thing that we're going to dive into is Jussie Smollett from the Empire. Let me pull up a picture in case you don't know who it is.
First of all, if you don't know who this is, I would like to know.
I had to pull up a picture to look.
I didn't. Yeah, I had no idea who it was.
But I do not watch Empire. So.
But how many things have you seen this dude in?
It doesn't mean I know his name. Like when it comes to actors,
that's the dude. I thought it was the other black dude.
No, that's Jussie.
Okay,
that's Jussie Smollett.
That's why I was so confused. I thought it was the other black dude.
You're like, what? He's gay?
Yeah, I was like, bro,
Gotcha.
the old.
Gotcha.
What's his name then? Because he's super famous and been in a bunch of shit. I didn't think his name was Jesse Smollett. That's why I was so surprised.
You're talking about Terrence Howard? I can't.
I think that's him. The third from the left.
Terrence Howard, yeah. Terrence Howard is probably the most famous actor in the cast.
Yeah, Terrence
by
Howard.
far. Yeah.
Okay. That didn't sound familiar either.
Word. So this is the letter that he got 8 days ago.
So a 3-year-old wrote it?
Yeah, pretty much. The fact that somebody's, if a 3-year-old did write it, the fact that somebody is like teaching their 3-year-old how to do shit like this, that's scary.
What adult is that bad at drawing? This has to be fake. Right? This can't be real. Like, and they did it like old robber style where they cut out of fucking magazines. And this isn't real. I believed it until I saw until I saw this.
He's been talking about this letter that he got.
Did he get punched with the letter or what happened?
No, they may be unrelated. Not sure.
They gotta be.
This
is ridiculous.
This is goofy as shit. I absolutely agree. It's goofy as shit. But the whether or not it looks like it was a 2-year-old or a 25-year-old, the message is clear, and that's.
It's not very. Let's look at that handwriting.
I can see it.
It's hardly legible.
I have no problem seeing it.
Is he hugging his mom? Is he shooting a laser beam at him? Is that a monster? Is that
I don't know.
Slender Man? I don't know what's going on here. Looks like Slender Man is helping a kid run away from a laser beam. I don't know. The message is not clear to me. That's all I'm saying.
You can't read?
I mean, I can read, but they blurred out half of it, and I can't read this. They
blurred out his address. I can't believe that the post office actually delivered this.
I don't think they did. They must have just dropped it in the thing.
Look.
I mean, I see that, but there's no way.
It's got stamps and a postmark on it.
If I looked at this, I'd be like, first of all, this is the joke. What's it says MAGA in the corner?
Shout out to the post office for actually getting it to him, I suppose. Ben said it was written with the left hand of a right-handed person.
Dude, it was written with the left foot of a right-handed person.
I am severely left-handed, and I could write better than that.
Way better than that with my left hand. Yeah, no, that
severely.
This is either a joke or like some kind of, and not a funny ha-ha joke. It's a sick one, regardless. But this is hard to take serious. I feel like if you were trying to threaten somebody, you would do it with a better picture than that.
I hope you're right, but you still can't ignore the fact.
Oh, no. You definitely can, especially once then you have a thing where he gets assaulted.
Turn something that possibly could be this serious into
definitely
a joke.
Well, you said the cops are investigating to see if it's related potentially, right? So, I mean, if fingerprints come out and they're like a match to the people who assaulted them, then yeah, it holds a lot of weight.
Absolutely.
I don't want to dismiss it either. I'm just, trying to poke fun at how
no,
ridiculous it looked.
I get it. I just don't want to. I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time making fun of something that clearly has a message that is absolutely full of hatred.
Yeah.
I don't think one of his homies did it.
Oh, no. I mean, who knows at this day and age? I mean, a lot of those things I've seen, like college campuses. Oh, they put Nazi things on my door. It turned out to be the girl. It's like people do that stuff for attention sometimes.
They do.
But I don't think he got himself beat up and jumped for attention,
Right. So the article is Empire star Jussie Smollett, victim of homophobic attack by MAGA supporters. That's the headline. Now that bothers me. I guess until more evidence comes out that shows who they were.
Yeah.
I hope they're caught. I really hope they're caught. Empire star Jussie Smollett was brutally attacked by two men who beat him up, put his head in a noose, and screamed, "This is MAGA country." Sources directly connected to Jussie tell TMZ the actor arrived in Chicago from New York late Monday, and at around 2 a.m. he was hungry and went to a Subway. We're told he walked out. Someone yelled, "Aren't you that faggot Empire
Nyoggle?"
That. The two men, both white and wearing ski masks, viciously attacked Jussie as he fought back, but they beat him badly and fractured a rib. They put a rope around his neck, poured bleach on him, and as they left, they yelled, "This is MAGA country." Jesse was taken to Northwestern Memorial where he was treated. He was discharged later Tuesday morning. That grapejuice.net first posted this letter, which was sent to Fox Studios in Chicago with cutout letters spelling, "You will die, black fag."
Grapejuice.net.
Yeah. Our sources say the letter was sent 8 days ago. The envelope the letter arrived in appears to say MAGA in the upper left corner. I'm glad they said appears to say because it's really hard to tell if that's...
I couldn't, tell for sure. Interesting.
Law enforcement sources tell us Chicago PD is investigating the incident as a battery, and the police tell us they are treating the incident as a possible hate crime.
I mean, definite hate crime if it's the extent that what he said.
Right.
Was there nobody there to verify it? Was it just him and the two guys? Or
apparently there were some witnesses, but that part's still being invested.
Yeah.
I'm going to look up a few other articles and see what they say. It's just crazy. This is that we still live in a country where this kind of shit happens.
Dude, like we were saying yesterday, we're not that far removed. Jim Crow was, like I said, 50, 60 years ago.
Right.
Like, people who are alive. My grandma's in her 70s.
Yeah.
Trump's in his 70s. Like, these people are still with us. It has not fell away yet, and so it's hard to disconnect yourself. Like, I posted a thing talking about Anne Frank and Martin Luther King and what's her name, all pretty much being born in the same year, and how crazy that is because people disconnect all of those things too and think they're so far removed. It's hard for humans to keep things in perspective, which was one of the reasons why I said to you in a much earlier podcast, I think history is so important because we so rapidly forget the things that are even within a lifetime,
I get it. I do get it. I understand it. I'm the type of person that thinks that we need to move on and progress, and part of being able to do that is putting yesterday behind us. So that's I understand the importance of it, but even if these guys that attacked Jesse, you can't tell me they don't know history.
I mean,
knowing history, do you think it would have kept him from attacking him?
I don't know. Maybe. It's hard to say without knowing who they are, or there's a lot of factors.
If
there.
we assume that they're just some white supremacists,
I believe with the right amount of education, everybody would be nonviolent, and everybody would not.
I
hurt
don't
people.
disagree with that. I don't disagree with that, but I don't think teaching these guys history would have done any good.
I think that's just one of the fundamental stepping stones to get you there to that ultimate knowledge, or at least ultimate understanding of why we don't. Like the non-aggression principle, like ways to communicate and facilitate, free trade amongst each other.
If it is a racist hate crime, I think it's pretty safe to assume that they know their family history and they're pretty proud of it.
I mean, maybe, but people have left the KKK just like they've left religion. People learn and grow and
people
evolve.
People that leave the KKK aren't jumping people that we know of.
They may have in the past. I mean, we don't. Like I said, yet again, that's hard to say. I'm just saying people do grow and evolve. We don't know what propelled this individual. A lot of people who have
individuals.
Yeah, man. Oh, it was multiple people.
Two
That's
people.
Right. Yeah. So individuals. A lot of the
Band Comedy said it says MAGA. It's a hate crime. Band Comedy. You should just go back and watch the last few days of this show.
Oh no shit. But I don't know. It's tough because I feel like people can be saved. It's hard.
People can. I don't disagree with that at all.
I don't know exactly all the elements that it would take. I think that having historical context is one of them, though. It's one of the fundamentals.
I think there's a lot of theoretical, hypothetical situations we can think of that might change one's mindset. But
dude, I know, right?
Ultimately, it's still 2019 and shit like this is still going on. So obviously, some system somewhere is failing.
I just think it's like anything else. It just takes time. Massive change like this just doesn't happen overnight, even though people may say, and that's what I was saying about the whole feelings thing. I think some people may
and it's
say,
not, these incidences aren't necessarily happening every day, at least that we know of.
They're happening at a lower rate every year. I mean, you can go look at all crime statistics, rape, violent crime, everything is going down every year, which is encouraging. Border crossing, all these numbers are going down because we just have better technology, better ways to monitor individuals. We have good systems in place, I think, but they can still be improved upon. So I don't think that we should ever stop improving.
They always will be.
Oh, yeah.
nothing's ever going to be perfect.
No, definitely not. Not unless you get to the point where you are willing to give up certain freedoms so you can have that perfect security.
Right.
And I don't think the American people are ever going to do that. So in order, you got to have some people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I definitely absolutely agree with that. Reading another article on CNN, and I kind of figured CNN might throw the MAGA stuff in there somewhere, but it doesn't at all. It just says the offenders physically attacked Smollett and poured an unknown chemical substance on the victim, police said. Well, it came out that the chemical substance was bleach.
Who does that?
A representative, well, for a while, that was a popular thing for white supremacists to pour bleach on black folk.
You're not going to get them white. It's not how it works.
It's not going to work, but let's look at the kind of people that are trying to pour bleach on black folk.
I guess that's fair.
I mean,
maybe we can bleach them Negras. Yeah. Oh, no, we didn't think about it. Then they'll be white, too.
It's just as effective as trying to cover them with honey and throwing a bag of flour at them. That might work, too. Hi, Nolan. Good morning.
Only
the CNN Entertainment adds that Jussie is a true champion for LGBTQ people and is beloved by the community and allies around the world, a GLAAD spokesperson said in a statement. I bet TMZ didn't add that part because they're like, yeah, well, we just don't want to glorify gaydom because their main guy is gay. He says it all the time. He goes, yeah.
Why wouldn't they want to glorify it then?
Because cool he's got the mindset that people are people and it's okay. You know, just we don't have to label people based on their personal beliefs or their sexual preference or their color of skin.
Yeah, I wish people would quit talking about it. It's just another one of those immutable characteristics that you know, can't change, can't do anything about. So why are we talking about it?
So in entertainment news this morning, this really excites me, and I'm going to figure out a way to go. It's probably not going to come to the Portland area, probably not going to come to the Seattle area.
Flying strippers.
If there were flying strippers, that would definitely come to the Portland area. Anything stripper related happens in Portland.
We do get stripper stuff.
Portland has more strip clubs per capita than any other city in the country.
Yeah, one of the only places they can go bottoms off. It's nothing like staring deep within a chick's birth canal, like when she's feet from you. It's nothing like it.
Let me check to see who's watching before I say this. Oh, we're good. She's not here. So I was at the Pink Slip in St. Louis, you know, the Chingy raps about. Mm-hmm. And normally white guys don't go in there. I just happened to be with Young Buck and a few G-Unit security guards. We pulled the bus up there, and that place is ghetto. Like, more ghetto than anything I could... Not anything else I can imagine, because I've seen a lot of ghetto shit around the country, but it's ghetto.
Yeah.
And this chick, this stripper... She looks at me and she like taps her butt. So I'm thinking she wants me to spank her. Now, when you're talking like strip clubs in Portland, like if a girl comes and gives you a lap dance, you kind of have to keep your hands at your side.
Unless she puts your hands on her.
Right. Yeah. Right. You're not supposed to engage as much as she engages.
Yes.
In St. Louis, it's absolutely different. You're expected to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. So I saw these guys putting their hands all over these girls. Well, this girl bends over in front of me. And, you know, you see all those overplayed memes of roast beef vagina, right?
Yep.
That's exactly what it looked like. Labia was stretched out, and it looked like a piece of meat. So she rolled over on her back, spread her legs wide open. So I grabbed part of it, and I played it like it was a bass. I was like, boom, 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 boom. And she cocked back and slapped the shit out of me. Whack!
Yeah, it turns out you're not supposed to play pussy like a harp.
you don't want to strum it like it's a 6-string. Yeah, no. Don't do that. Bad idea. So whatever your name is, Diamond in the Rough or whatever, Pink Slip in St. Louis, I apologize.
Could you imagine if they did the same thing with their dick, like pinch the tip of your dick and started like strumming it like it was a fucking banjo or something?
Oh, I'd be excited that they could pinch the tip of my dick.
Oh.
I'm fat and I'm Asian, bro.
Oh.
When it's cold outside, I got 2 innies.
Oh. I'm so sorry.
Moving right along. So the thing that I'm really excited about, I don't have 2 innings over this. I have an innie and an outie right now. Because Wu-Tang Clan, Public Enemy, De La Soul announced epic 2019 Gods of Rap tour. Now, if these guys could go on tour, do me a favor. Start going to all of these little communities around the country and handing out free tickets to everybody that thinks they have a rap album. All local rappers, do a service to the rap and hip-hop community and give free tickets to local rappers everywhere so they can see what's really the fuck going on, so they can stop making garbage music.
They won't.
They won't, but we can try.
That's true.
3 of hip-hop's most iconic groups are coming together for the aptly titled 2019 Gods of Rap Tour. This May, Wu-Tang Clan, Public Enemy, and De La Soul will all be heading off to the UK to celebrate their anniversaries of some of their classic albums. Thus far, Gods of Rap Arena Tour comprises 3 shows in London, Manchester, and Glasgow. Wu-Tang will be honoring the 25th anniversary of their seminal Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers. Public Enemy are highlighting 30 years of It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, one of my favorite albums ever. And De La Soul will mark 3 decades of their acclaimed 3 Feet High and Rising, another one of my absolute favorite albums. Wu-Tang are listed as the official headliners of the tour, and DJ Premier has been tapped to host the evening. I don't believe anything like this has been done in the UK before in this level, SJM promoters Chris Waring told Music Week. This tour creates legacy. It's a moment. The groups are the biggest in their genres. They're all celebrating notable anniversaries of the biggest albums, and I am led to believe this is the first time they have all been on the same bill together. Tickets go on sale January 25th. Consult the full itinerary below, followed by the accompanying poster artwork via Ticketmaster. Gods of tour dates so far: May 10th in London, May 11th in Manchester, and May 12th, Glasgow. Nice. My birthday is May 15th, so can they come back to the States, please? Please, bring it back, because I don't think I'm going to be able to fly over the pond to go to a concert. But if we win the lottery between now and then, I'm going. I'm not missing it.
She pulled up to Wendy's and we started talking about nasty vaginas.
Well, good thing you weren't at Arby's when I said,
right?
Remember how people make those Arby's analogies? Good thing.
They would have been happy. They're talking about us.
Oh, my God. Oh, sometimes I wish we could watch ads and play cool videos, but we had a video that was suspended yesterday on YouTube. Completely shut down, and I went through and I removed the clip that got us shut down, and I don't think the video has been cleared yet, so I don't know how long it takes them to review it.
Did they tell you exactly which part?
Yep.
Which one was it?
The clip from The Masked Singer. We showed a clip from The Masked Singer and then went into a clip of Drew Brees when he was on that nature show. He killed the alligator to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fox. They were both owned by Fox. So Fox put a claim on the video and had it absolutely. It wasn't just a monetary claim. They just had it shut down. Like, nope, sorry, nobody's allowed to see this video because you used 1 minute and 30 seconds of one of Fox's clips in your 4-hour production.
That's ridiculous.
Absolutely is to me, too. Because we were talking about the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be... If you're showing a clip that you're referencing while you're talking about something, isn't that supposed to be fair use?
I'm so confused on how fair use works. I feel
too.
like it's just like whenever they feel like it kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree.
It's like such vague wording.
Oh, Nolan, I'm sorry. Nolan said I also got a large fry. They gave me 2 ketchup packets. I hate ketchup anyways.
What?
So sometimes I'll put it on hash browns if it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and I've been at the bar all night and I just don't want super dry hash browns.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't use ketchup.
Wow.
Ever.
I like ketchup.
If I use it as a fry sauce, I have to mix it with mustard. Like ketchup, mustard mix.
Yeah.
Ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise mix.
Yeah, that's good.
Ketchup by itself, I cannot do.
Yeah, I like ranch for fries too. But yeah, ketchup's always good. That's the staple.
No way.
Old reliable.
No way.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the Islander passion that I have, because to me ketchup is sriracha. I put that shit
love
on
sriracha.
everything.
Yeah, it's real good too.
But yeah, I can't. We were just talking. Maybe you weren't here. You weren't here this Sunday, right?
No, I couldn't make it Sunday.
Yeah, we're talking about foods that we don't like mixed.
Yeah.
And for me, it's ketchup in anything. Like my little brother used to put ketchup on macaroni and cheese. That disgusted me.
Yeah, same. One of my little brothers.
Ketchup on scrambled eggs.
That's all right. Cheese and scrambled eggs.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I cannot do it. I miss going to Fat Dave's at 3 a.m. too.
Oh, true.
Brian's not there anymore, so it's kind of heartbreaking. He was the server with the most. But the thing that bothers me more than ketchup on rice or ketchup on eggs is butter on white rice.
Yeah, I don't understand that one either.
I don't like butter, period.
I love butter. Some good grass-fed butter.
I only like it on popcorn.
It's really gonna pop.
I eat my dinner rolls without butter.
That's crazy.
Butter's not my thing.
I love to butter my bread.
Baked potato, you have to have
Yeah,
butter
baked
on it, so it's
potato.
not so you can eat it. Otherwise,
I mean,
it'd be too dry.
you could just go sour cream if you didn't like butter.
Oh, a little bit of sour cream. I can't do that much.
Butter, sour cream, chives. Yeah, all the good stuff.
I'm good.
Loaded potato.
We got what did he do? And too bad I haven't heard. Maybe Shawn's dead. I don't know.
Nah.
I doubt it too.
Nah.
He's just boycotting today.
I don't blame him.
Well, if he wants topics, if he wants the stuff that he's more interested in, he can speak up.
Yeah,
Shawn, if you're listening.
Bring the 8th dimensional stuff, Shawn. I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about space-related things because there is a bunch of space-related things that are
and then I'll get up and I'll throw a fit and walk out like a baby.
I mean, do you hate space-related things?
It's really.
You're like, fuck space, nigga! And get
I
up
don't
and
hate
walk out.
I don't hate it as much as Shawn hates this country, but, you know.
That's fair. Fucking commie
Shawn
bastard.
doesn't hate the country.
I read or watched a documentary on some Bible-related stuff the other day that I thought was massively interesting that you might also, like kind of how we were talking about how we think that there may be some mistranslations or some things missing out of the Bible, just some context missing. Specifically, the guy who I was watching, he's like a triple degreed linguist and all that stuff, and pretty much specializes in ancient languages, and pretty much had taken all the ancient languages that had pretty much like all the offshoots, like the Greeks and the Latins and all these different things that
The Hebrew.
yeah, pretty much all the different, because there was like 3 or 4 different sects of people who took the Sumerian like writings and essentially wrote about them. And so he cross-referenced all of them and started going back and trying to like pick at words and like figure out if the Bible was translated properly. And he started finding all kinds of things that he thinks are completely mistranslated or just
yeah. Well, and that's, I don't disagree with that. When we were talking about the Bible, I think, you know, it was not only were the accounts that are in the Bible written by man,
yeah,
but the Bible was translated by man.
Yeah.
And, you know, my dad, I understand his point where he said it's divine in the aspect that it is truly God's intent for us to read those words and know what's in there. But I don't discount the fact that I think it's God's intent that we know a lot more than we do know as well. At the same time,
Yeah.
we're just being held back because we're not in a world of God.
Yeah. Well, this guy pretty much thinks that, like I said, most of the earlier translations
Nolan, what is wrong with you?
were done incorrectly or skewed. Like the one that he starts with, the fundamental premise, Adam, he thinks is not like of man or whatever. He thinks the translation is closer to animal or cattle.
Wow.
Yeah, and so as he like went through systematically, he started like pointing out, he's like, the more I delved into this and the more I started looking at things, the more I started looking at or seeing us as like the subjugated ones. Like essentially when you look at even the normal biblical teachings, what does it say that the ultimate goal for us is? To make it to heaven and worship God for eternity, right? Like that's the ultimate gift.
Yeah. Yeah, I see
That's
that.
a slave. You go and you worship somebody and I've you know what I'm saying? Like prostrate yourself to them.
Everything that I've studied
That's a slave.
is you're not going to worship God. You're going to be one with God.
Be one with God, near Him, closer to
You'll
Him.
be at the right hand
separation
of.
of God is the negative aspect of whatever. I've heard a bunch of different translations or a bunch of different interpretations of it. And this is just one more to add to the collection. You know, he may not have it either. But I just found it massively interesting that his conclusion, when he got right down to it, is that Satan was the liberator. And I'm like, this must be closer to like the Freemason interpretation, or like
That sounds like the Book of Mormon to me.
it doesn't to me. The Book of Mormon is
The end goal for a Mormon man is if you follow the Book of Mormon and do the seven steps, I believe, you become the god of your own planet. Essentially, you become the god of your own universe.
Yeah.
So you inherit a new universe, and that you get to take your wives to with you.
Then maybe I don't have.
A lot of those old.
Yeah, I don't
Mormon
have obviously the
teachings
best understanding of Mormonism then, because that does not sound familiar at all.
A lot of it, and that's in the Book of Mormon. You have to dive deep. A lot of
I had the Book of Mormon too.
Most current Mormon churches don't even use the Book of Mormon anymore.
Yeah.
Because there's so much stuff
weird
in it.
stuff.
Like black people, according to the Book of Mormon, are black because it's punishment for following Satan originally.
Oh, maybe that's why this argument was so compelling to me, because I'm following Satan, so tough.
Supposedly,
it just made like I the more I listened to it, I was like, this is crazy, because he's like, in the Bible, like where is Satan doing these evil acts that he's said that he's supposed to be doing? Right. He's cast out of heaven and then pretty much demonized. He's this evil whatever. But where is that proven? Where did he do anything wrong? And even him trying to overthrow God or whatever, what was evil in that? You know, we don't know, because there's no like.
Right.
It's just he was cast out of heaven. He did some stuff. He took 1/3 of the angels and blah, or whatever. We know history is written by the victor. What if this was just another one of those situations where the dude who came out on top just wrote it however he saw fit?
If Hitler wrote the book.
Yeah. I mean, and I was like, whoo, that's some deep shit. I mean, Satan never flooded the world. Satan never called for people to go slaughter others. He never called for slavery. Satan tried to liberate us and give us knowledge of good and evil. Satan tried to challenge God on the hill and show him his own fallacies, show him his own weaknesses. The way he swung it, he's like, if you want to, you could almost say Satan was the hero who was defeated and potentially is trying to come back and rise up against that power again. Like I said, my mind was fucking blown, bro. I was sitting back like, nigga, I've never heard this before.
Right.
Supposedly, there's a sect of individuals who do religious training called heresy, like heresiography, or I don't even know. It was a new word from me that I've never seen, but it's essentially the heresies of all the religions. So kind of like I think what the Masons were kind of alluding to, or what they thought their interpretations kind of matched.
Okay.
What if we got it all wrong? And this whole time, the whole world's been celebrating the dude who was the evil one. Like, right. What if? Like, I know it's hard to think about that or whatever.
That would definitely answer a lot of questions.
But wouldn't it answer a lot of questions? And then also the fact that calling his name exerts control over all the other ones. If you were the victor and you were going to set something in stone in like a dimensional power thing, wouldn't that be it? All you got to do is say you don't even have to, I don't even have to be there. You just say, invoke my name, and everything submits automatically.
Kind of like Beetlejuice.
Kind of just.
Beetlejuice.
Like an evil overlord.
Right.
And it's just like the more things this dude pointed out, the more I took a step back and was just like, I got to go back in and do like a third look now and just go through and tear through it and switch the perspective. What if,
I understand that. But I also don't drown yourself with what ifs.
I always do. I don't know if I told you, but
Maybe
I love. I love it.
Part of the reason
that I twitch.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, do completely. I a lot?
No, not at all.
I feel like I do sometimes.
No, and so my favorite thing to do is wear stuff with Baphomets.
Baphomet, yeah.
What is that?
It's essentially the representation of the devil, normally with like a hand up and then like a hand down.
Oh.
Like it's like the head of or the top half of a goat, and then like the body of a man, or head of a goat, body of a man, and then like maybe hooves.
Nolan, why would that be your favorite thing to do? I'm confused. Speaking of confused, what did he do? Go.
Well, he got a bruise on his head, so somebody hit him with something to subdue him. He doesn't look like a drinker to me. He looks like he does uppers.
Okay.
Maybe meth. Maybe heroin. I don't know. Some sort of upper, opiate maybe. He stole a car after doing meth and then kidnapped a baby. That's what I'm going
Stole
with.
a car after doing meth and then kidnapped the baby.
That's my guess.
Kidnapped the baby before or after he stole the car?
After.
All right.
Stole a separate baby.
Well, too bad Duane's not here because this is another Florida man. Pinellas Park, Florida, court records. Man admitted to stealing laxatives thinking it was hydrocodone.
So he was trying to get high so he could steal a car and a baby.
He thought he was stealing Vicodin, but what he really stole were stool looseners. Court records in Florida, Pinellas County show a 56-year-old man allegedly stole laxatives from a home, believing it was actually hydrocodone. According to the documents, Peter Hans Emery Jr. was seen on video camera entering the lockbox that belongs to a person, selected a pill bottle, and left after pouring pills into his hand. The bottle was labeled hydrocodone acetaminophen, but actually contained Equate Gentle laxatives. The suspect then admitted to investigators in an interview that he took 2 pills that he believed were hydrocodone, but threw them away when he learned they were something else. According to WebMD, hydrocodone acetaminophen does contain an opioid pain reliever and a non-opioid pain reliever that is used to relieve moderate severe pain. I don't know why that line was thrown in there, but I think everybody knows that. Nolan said sex offender. Yo, King Gorks, what's good? He's lurking. I'll give you some lurks after we're done.
Yeah, thanks, fam.
Can't run too many web browsers while we're live because it sucks up CPU. Court documents show Emery Jr. has been convicted of theft twice in January 2014 and November 2015, respectively. He's been charged with committing petit theft while having 2 prior convictions of theft. Under Florida law, a person commits petit theft if the property stolen is valued at $100 or more, but less than $300. Committing petit theft while having 2 or more previous convictions of any theft is considered to be a Class 3 felony in Florida. What about stealing?
How are poop pills worth $100?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. It seems like... It doesn't say what he actually got charged with in this case. Court documents show he had been convicted twice.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Now, the commendable thing is the person that had the pills had them in a lockbox. I mean, that's very, very rare for the typical American, I think.
I should start doing that. I should start
keeping your medication in a lockbox.
Taking Adderall, like bottles around and putting like laxative or something in them. Fucking great. Because you saw how excited Tom got the other day when he heard about it. He's like, oh, you got some in your jacket in your car? It's like, relax. I wouldn't take. This is why I wouldn't take them out, because I would be afraid somebody would do some dumb shit like that.
Right.
And no, nigga, they're mine. Like those are gold to me. You know, they get me through the day. It's funny. My doctor asked me the same question. Would you sell these? Nigga, do you see me right now? Do you see how much I'm enjoying life? Fuck no, I ain't selling these. Nigga, these are gold. I mean, even if I got one that just looked similar to Adderall, I think it would be fucking hilarious. And just leave it in my car and hope somebody steals it. Your face looks like
oh my
we
God.
need to see this.
Oh my God. Hang on a moment. See, anytime I pull up a mugshot and what did he do, it's real easy to roll into another one. What did he do?
Is his lip split or is that a piercing? Okay, it must be split.
Severely chapped from eating too many warheads.
Yeah, let's see. So that's a terrible haircut.
And look, he's so fat. Your mama's so fat. How fat is she? This kid's so fat when they said turn to the side, he just turns his head. He didn't even turn his body. He's like, there you
go. Yeah. Okay. So I think he lives in the country.
Right?
Either I just don't know. So he tried to molest somebody's donkey. Is what I'm going with, and it kicked him. That's how he got the busted lip.
He's definitely not that old.
No, he's young. That's what I'm saying. It's his first experience.
Nolan says stole his mom's money. That maybe the Russian voices in his head told him to. Good guess. Anybody else want to guess before
I
reveal? What did he do? Man,
God, he's ugly.
I wish Shawn and Duane were here so we could.
I know, right?
So they could be a part of this.
Where's Duane at? That nigga always be bullshit. I'm gonna come someday at some point.
Off at school or at work.
Nigga bullshit worse
than me.
You know what?
Though I'm not. He's usually not the type to get up early.
Yeah.
But
Same.
He gets up early to get his kid to work. You know, he's that responsible guy. So more power to him. Shout out to him. Now let me go back and find the article. Sheriff says 18-year-old Idaho woman.
That's a woman? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Oh my God. Where's Jeff in the box? Where is Jeff in the box? We need him. Jeff in the box. We need you, bro.
All right. Well, this game just changed. Keep going.
18-year-old Idaho woman accused of attacking caregiver and tried to kill cat. An 18-year-old woman is accused of attacking a caregiver during a disturbance in a group home. The Bonneville County Sheriff's Office's deputies were called out to a group home on Farnsworth Drive in Idaho Falls over disturbance on Saturday. Police said Journey S. Smith became upset after another resident in the home received the okay to have a service animal, but her request for one was denied. It was then, police say, when Smith became upset and violent towards caregivers inside the home and used a broken butter knife to cut one of the workers' arms. She also wanted to use the knife to kill a cat and was breaking mirrors and glass to use as weapons and threw items in an attempt to cause harm, authorities say. Smith has been charged with felony aggravated battery and misdemeanors for battery and malicious injury to property. The victim who suffered the cut did not require to seek further medical attention.
Wow.
Nolan said, threw a fit at McDonald's, they forgot his pickles, and then she said, so like my clients. Yes, like your clients, Nolan, exactly. That's what happens.
That's some next level shit right there.
Wow.
That was a fucking female. Good Lord Jesus.
Goodness gracious. Oh, we can go to that one more time. Do you see it now?
No.
Nope.
I can see the thing sagging on your chest, but I thought those were just normal man boobs.
Middies.
Good Lord Jesus. Yeah, you ain't got no ear piercings or nothing. Like, there's no. What's the distinguishing female factor? That's what I'm saying. I know a dude who looks just like that.
Right.
That bitch could be a fucking linebacker. A fucking lineman. Excuse me.
I would have guessed it's like a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah, 16, 17-year-old boy.
Yeah. Nolan says, I have so many scars. She works in a care facility, so people beat her. Patients beat her up all the time.
Yeah, I used to work with kids with special needs and behavioral problems, and yeah, they'll fuck you up sometimes.
I think hers are adults.
Yeah, so that's what they become. That's the eventuality of it, so it gets even worse. But I also worked with like young adults, like 18 to 21 too, and some of them were fucking ginormous. Like
Duane.
Remember me telling you about Alex
from Problem Child
Alex
7.
Sanders? Me and Alex Sanders together had to. There was one kid that was so big and so strong. It took both of us simultaneously having to subdue him.
Wow.
But we had like techniques that they trained us on with the state to be able to like handle kids with special needs and stuff without hurting them. And then me and him were just both really skilled wrestlers, so it was pretty easy for us. And we knew each other, so we could like feed off of each other pretty easy. It was like a real good situation for the time I was there. Shit was fun.
Oh, the Sanders.
Right?
Ben Comedy literally said the kid from Problem Child 7. So I think this next one's definitely a dude, but what did he do?
I don't know. She looks like she might fuck. What did he do? He got thin lips. He looking cracky. Oh, you can't restrain people. Well, what do you do when they start being violent? Do you just leave or call the cops? Or what do you do?
Oh, crazy Helga's at it again. She just tried to hit me with her bedpan. Run!
Yeah, because I was trained in 2 different styles. Like, the school had a different training technique than, like, the privatized corporations. But, yeah, they essentially have 2 different styles, one slightly more aggressive than the other. The one, obviously, being slightly less aggressive with kids because they don't want to cause any injuries or anything. But we had situations where, dude, if somebody your or my size is angry and violent and they're swinging at people and you're out in the community, you can't let that happen.
Right.
You're their caretaker,
right.
you know? And so there have been situations where you got to subdue people and everybody in the community is like, whoa! And it's like, nigga, if I let him go.
Nolan, you got to be more creative than that. Nolan said he stole shit. Ben Comedy said drank an entire bottle of NyQuil and passed out before he could get to the cash register and pay for it.
That's my guess. I'm going to go with that.
Knocked out in the toy section at Walmart. Laying up on some kid's couch or something.
Do you think he was shooting up, needle in the arm, just conked?
Found him in the garden center on a bench.
I think so. He was sleeping in a tent inside of a sporting goods store while shooting up. They try to get out of their grip.
Put a chair pillow between us.
Oh my god! Yeah,
That's
that seems even more dangerous. Put up a pillow while they pummel you.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't work in a situation like that. Because if I got hit by an old man, I'm hitting him back. I don't care what it is.
No. There's absolutely no reason to hit them back.
That's why I can't be in a situation like that.
For sure, and that's why it takes normally big, strong people to be able to like subdue them. You know, and people, you know. Depending on how violent people are, if they're like super, super violent, they're normally being in some sort of specialized care, like in-home care anyways.
Right. No, I get it. My personal natural reaction is just to strike back.
Oh, of course. Dude, I worked with a one-on-one when I was working with Alex for like an entire year. And the kid's name, I only say his first name was Steven. But this little nigga was very violent and was like manipulative as well and would wait until I was like vulnerable and then catch me. Like one time he waited, he like asked me to open the window, was like, so I reach over to open the window. Second I reach across him, clamps down with his teeth, and he had the big old like outward teeth. Nigga clamped on like a pit bull and I could not get him off.
With his teeth?
Yes. And so then I'm like, ah! And I didn't know what to do because I don't want to hit him, you know? But like your first reaction is to like, I want to hit this fucking kid. He's biting the shit out of me.
Right.
So I'm like,
how old is he?
He was 19 at the time.
Oh, yeah, I would have knocked him the fuck out.
No, I mean, he's still a kid to me. You know, he's small,
Right. No,
he's
I get it.
frail, he's brittle.
For you, I'm good. That's your job. I personally would have knocked him out.
Yeah, that's why most people just couldn't handle it. And once me and this kid built a rapport, it was good, but he was fuck, man. The first couple weeks, same thing. Tying his shoe, lean in, kick me right in my fucking chin. I've never had my bell rung by anybody like that. I had to like sit back on the couch for like 15 minutes and be like, we're going to miss the bus today. I'm just going to drive him in my personal vehicle if that's okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that shit was off the chain.
I wouldn't be able to handle that.
Yeah.
More power to you, bro.
Dude,
That's
I
commendable.
like I said, I really genuinely love kids and want the betterment for them. And especially kids who are, you know, disabled, you know, in the special needs categories, autistic. It takes extra work. It requires a diligent touch. And I mean, the kids are all over it too, even if they're like slightly on the spectrum. It takes 2 and 3 times as much as a normal effort you'd have to exert for a kid. And it's not like it's a bad thing. It's just they have special needs and requirements that require your attentiveness, you know?
Ben Comedy said, got in a sword fight with a tractor. And I could see this guy get, yeah.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
I could see that. Wonder if it's the same samurai sword that the guy cut a little boy with yesterday. Nolan said I've been tying a client's show and I get my hair yanked. Oh, tying a client's shoe, get my hair yanked.
Yep, same.
Get punched in the boobs. Well,
Punch, slap, kicked.
To be fair, Nolan, boobs are like punching bags. So they're just kind of fun bags and.
Yeah, I was gonna say most of the kids would do things like lay their heads like on boobs and stuff. Like we had a lady who was a short little squatty lady with huge boobs, and the kids would just melt between them, and she loved it. You know, she was just the big motherly figure in the class. That's good stuff.
Because I wouldn't let her climb into a random car. She punched you in the boobs because you wouldn't let her get into a random car.
Oh my god. Yeah, I got kicked in the shin so hard I thought I'd like shattered my shin by a kid because we were running the track on the Special Olympics and he wasn't done running. like, nah, nigga, we're all done. You see, everybody stopped, and he was still going, and so I tried to like reel him in, and like I said, yet again, one of those things. I've never been kicked so hard in my fucking life, and I just laid on the track, and just like wept that little single Indian tear, like, what just happened? What? I've done football, wrestling. I've been hit with baseball bats and been in street fights. Nothing has ever hurt as much as this.
I wouldn't be able to deal with it, bro.
Yeah, good times. Good kids, though. Like I said, loving. And that's the thing. Like, when they love just as hard, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, when they're on love mode and they're hugging you and they're having fun, it's like the best feeling in the world, you know, helping facilitate that kind of stuff. It's just work, you know? It's tough.
I get it. So this guy, Nolan said I would have let him run. Yeah, I would too.
I let him run after that. That nigga ran like 10 more laps, and then we left with my shattered leg.
Where's Duane at when we need him? Another Florida guy.
Jesus. Coming out today.
So I doubt if he was sword fighting with a tractor.
At what
Although
point
there are parts of Florida that you probably could.
is all of Florida arrested? Is all I'm. I just want to know.
Tell me Florida doesn't have the highest crime rate in the country right now. Florida inmate denies syringes pulled from his rectum are his.
Bro, I told you that nigga was shooting up. I knew it.
A man arrested on a warrant for drugs in Central Florida is facing a new charge of smuggling contraband into the jail after pulling 3 syringes from his rectum during a strip search.
Oh.
According to the arrest report from the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, 40-year-old Wesley Dasher Scott told deputies he found the syringes and they didn't belong to him.
So I shoved him up my booty.
Scott of Clearwater said he didn't have anything on him prior to his trip to jail. The arresting deputy said Scott also admitted to knowing what would happen if he brought anything hidden into the jail. I didn't have any syringes in my booty hole. You must have planted those.
That's a hell of a story.
Yikes.
I mean, I've had some things planted in my ass before, but never 3. It's ridiculous. You said 3, right? 3 syringes up his booty?
Yes, 3 syringes in his booty hole. Okay, Nolan. Nolan said, be right back.
Did she get punched in the boob again?
Oh,
Be right back and get some ice. My titty hurts.
I'm trying to avoid clickbaiting. A lot of these, like, there's this news story, and then it'll show related stories at the bottom, so that's how I'm finding a lot of these. Oh, here's that one that I wanted to go over yesterday, but somebody threw a fit. Somebody trumped it, threw his fist on the table and walked out. Somebody trumped.
Was that me?
No, Shawn. Big T said Florida doesn't have high crime rate. They have high weird-ass crime rate. This is why y'all keep pulling the stories. I mean, if you live in a state that knowingly gets hit with hurricanes and shit, you got to be a little fucked up.
That's
That's a good
exactly
point.
what I
That is
said.
a very good point.
True.
Ben Comedy said, which way did you put them in? Needle first? I don't even want to ponder that, dude.
Which way would you do it? Would you go needle first, or would you would you have the needle sticking towards the booty hole?
But if you go, like, opposite needle first, well, I don't know what end you would call that. Pusher end. Isn't that just going to push all
Push the plunger?
Push all the stuff out? The whole point of smuggling in the syringe would be to smuggle in something in the syringe, right?
I don't
Maybe
know how you get a syringe in a booty without plunger in it either way.
Maybe they were capped.
Like, the second he sits, you would think it'd be plunger in. Or a fart, like any pressure, you would think. I don't know.
Ben Comedy said, no, if you knowingly get hit by hurricanes and stay, you would have to be fucked up. I think that's Big T's point.
Yeah.
What are you actually talking about now, the needle or the butthole? What came first, the needle or the butthole? I don't know if you caught it. There's a guy that got caught smuggling 3 syringes in his sphincter when he got arrested, and then he tried to say, those syringes aren't mine.
Bro, I put on my friend's pants, and they had syringes in them, and somehow, I'm not really sure. It's like, how loose would your booty hole have to be to just mistakenly get syringes, you know? The faces you're making today are great.
Because I'm hoping there's video for this, and if there is one.
Of them pulling the syringes out? I hope there is.
A new story. Different story. Unrelated. So, what we're going to get into yesterday is something that we've been talking about off and on for the last few days, and about how schools need to go back to teaching fundamentals.
Yes.
So high school puts on Adulting Day for students, teaches them how to pay bills, change tires, and cook. Kentucky of all places. Kentucky high school decided to send its seniors out into the world prepared with more than just a rapidly diminishing knowledge of algebra and an understanding of American history, barely above the intellectual level of either a far right or far left Facebook meme. Instead, Bullitt Central High School, which is in Shepherdsville, just outside of Louisville, Kentucky, shout out to Louisville, is teaching kids real-life skills they'll actually use, mostly. Last week, the high school had an Adulting Day for seniors who spent the day taking classes about how to pay bills, how to change tires, dorm room cooking, how to behave during traffic stops with police officers, and about using credit cards and other general finance topics.
Jesus.
Fuck, wouldn't that be important?
Bro, how did we get zero of that and just dropped into it?
But then what happens immediately after you graduate? All of these credit cards are dropped into your lap.
Yep.
Talk about just fucking America's social system, fucking America's credit system, fucking America's financial system.
What up? Yes.
Immediately. Oh, fuck. Not this guy.
Yeah, that's fucking... Huh?
Who knows?
What's up? It is.
I wouldn't sit there. Is that open? What kind of question is that? So last week, the high school had an Adulting Day for seniors who spent the day taking classes about how to pay bills, how to change tires, dorm room cooking, how to behave during travel. I wouldn't sit there, Tom.
Really?
I'm not kidding. And about using credit cards and other general finance topics. Seniors also spoke with members of the Army about career in the military. You can get that blue chair out of here, though. That was Matt Lowe.
Whatever.
His fat ass had to have a chair without handlebars.
I just had 2 for $5 at Arby's.
Nice.
And I ate both.
Oh, man, you should have been watching this morning. Maybe you wouldn't have had Arby's.
Right.
The BCHS Family Resource and Youth Services Center brought in expert guest speakers, members of the community who could educate the high schoolers that will soon to find themselves in dorm rooms or somewhere else out in the real world, and what they'll encounter once they get there. In a Facebook post, the director of the BCHS Family Resource and Youth Service Centers detailed the successful day. You can look up the pictures if you want. I'm not going to show them. Social media post and the Adulting Day has begun to receive national attention and largely positive feedback. Still, the idea could use some tweaking. Here are some future ideas for Adulting Day classes.
Oh my God.
How to effectively live paycheck to paycheck. Pills, don't do them recreationally. Domicile decorating for straight men. If you aren't going to cook anything real, at least buy a rotisserie chicken and not just frozen pizzas and macaroni and cheese. Condoms, you're too poor to not use them.
All right.
How to prioritize paychecks over pride. And then after that, it says that should take care of them. I don't disagree with that list at all.
Yeah, it mostly sounded good. I think there's one I kind of was like, meh, but...
Pills, don't do them recreationally?
Yeah, that one for sure. When do you do them if not recreationally?
I mean, when they're prescribed.
That's what they call recreational drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Recreational?
Yeah, but that's different. That's like a prescribed thing.
Right.
That's different than like doing a pill, I feel like.
That's why it says don't do them recreationally.
No, that's what I'm
You can do pills
disagreeing.
recreationally.
I don't do them recreationally.
You ever fucking chopped up an Adderall and snorted it?
No.
Never in my life.
I'm just saying that's what some people do. So I've heard.
Okay.
So I've heard. I mean, I've never.
I knew a guy that he was about
Oh, shit.
5'8", 195 pounds, but like wears a Boston hat. He tried that years ago, and
Yeah, I heard that it.
I see what you did
It's terrible to snort, but
I don't know,
I've heard there's other things that snort. You can snort that are
like
pretty good.
oxys and stuff.
I was thinking more the cocaines of the world.
I've snorted ecstasy before.
Me too. I regret it. I'll never do it again.
Did it hurt?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Any snort hurts though. Really?
Some things hurt more than others.
Yeah.
I've never snorted anything
Like
other than
Tabasco sauce, definitely
like
hurts more.
water when I jump into a pool and you're like, it's colder than you thought, so you just gasp for air, and that's about as close as I've gotten to snorting anything.
You never snorted any things?
You ever done any nose candy?
Never in my life. I've been around it tons of times,
Me too.
Yeah.
but I've never touched it.
Good for you, man.
Never wanted to.
Man, more for me.
I was just say like,
Yeah,
you
that-
ever like sat in your living room with a mirror and someone made like took like cocaine and made a circle out of it, and you just like work your way around. You pass it around the circle. You pass the circle around in the circle.
No. But we have
You
done.
guys been living under a shoebox. or
No,
something.
we did way more extravagant things. We'd like build houses with windows and then do like little, like cloud.
A
Like
lot of-
we were stupid with it.
You
So
like sandcastles
yeah,
and shit.
save me the third cloud and the chimney. I want the doorway and oh yeah, like I said, we had fun with it.
That's artistic. That's really good. That's really good.
A lot
Like
of
I said,
the
we're pretty stupid with it.
You must have a lot of drugs to do that. Like if you're building sandcastles, like mansions, like okay, I'll take the moat.
I won't lie.
Give me the moat and the drawbridge.
Minimum because all the coke around here is just diluted pretty much down to garbage.
People take the Nike.
I
and
need
run
at
all
least
over
2
it.
grams for me to have a good night. So
back to
just
this
for me.
A little more than a teener. All right.
back to the syringes in the butthole. Ben Comedy said, "Wait, were they rubber banded together like a bunch of pencils, or did he put them in like link sausages?" I don't think you could put 3 syringes in your butthole like link sausages. Big T said Kentucky got tired of teaching about history and how they're all related.
That's not cool. My family's out there.
Oh, that's
Can
fucked
you
up.
move Josh's name under Josh's face?
Well, can you show up on time?
You're welcome.
I'm busy. Don't ask me what, but I was busy at Arby's. I was busy doing some other things.
I don't want to hear your bullshit.
Oh, there you go.
You're gonna show up whenever you feel like it. You're gonna get what you get.
I am hashtag Josh or explanation of point.
You know, we used to say to the kids, "You get what you get, and don't throw a fit." And then they would always fucking complain.
I remember that.
Shut your ass up.
All right.
At least I'm not muted. That's good.
Right?
Yeah. I know which one's the mute button because I always look when he touches it, which one's mine.
I mean, they got it color coordinated.
I don't
Du-
mute
dummy
you
pooped us.
nearly as much as I muted other people in the past.
Like me.
Definitely not you. Neither one of you guys will.
I was in bed by 7 o'clock last night. Is that sad
Fuck
or
you.
what? That's bad.
We were just talking about how the lack of sleep.
7 o'clock last night. Woke up about 5 o'clock this morning. Fell back asleep. Woke up at 6:45, and I was like ready to go.
I didn't even leave the gym last night until 2:30 in the morning.
I just haven't had the energy lately, man. Just I'm tired.
Same.
I'm tired.
Damn.
Man.
I got to bed about 4 a.m.
These Werther's originals are not doing it for me, man. Yeah.
Not the energy booster that you need.
No, I need at least hot tamales or north, anywhere hot tamales or north of it. I've had coffee, Dutch Brothers. I've had like both. Nothing's working today.
Yeah,
Might as well eat.
I hear you, bro. I got literally. It was about 4 a.m. when I went to bed.
It's sunny though. I should have more energy. It's sunny. It's beautiful out.
Right? It was nice.
Vitamin C give you more energy,
We should call other things vitamin C.
or vitamin D, right?
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D for
Vitamin D.
vitamin C for.
Vitamin D is actually really good. Most people have a deficiency in it, and it's really good and aids in the production of testosterone, which is why a lot of men are so soft.
How do you know?
Sean,
Because I
You
can
see-
look around, I have eyes.
You guys see group chat?
You know, it's like naturalistic. Like
The majority of society is just soft, like the
I think
Pillsbury.
it's kind of normal that
billboard.
people just look at either asses or crotches. It's like that's where our heads go. Just like, you know, like look in the mall. I had a good
Guys
joke.
too?
I don't know. Everyone just looks at like I don't know, but like,
Is this you coming out of the
you
closet?
see like
It's okay.
that was last winter. That was last Thanksgiving. But thank you. I waited till all the family members were sitting around. Hey guys, I have a very special announcement to make. They're like, Tom, we already know. I said, okay, there's my okay. Pass the
Like, he's coming out
Can you pass the
again?
mashed potatoes? I need some more mashed potatoes then, and some more gravy, and some more juice.
You all right?
Yeah.
That's always bad. Let's say like someone's like had this like pent up thing about them, and they were very obviously flamboyant, and they're like they wait till like Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas, like right before like this, right between the stocking stuffers and the Christmas presents. Okay, kids, they're done. Go through all their candy and bullshit. Penny racers or whatever they fucking have these days. $100 bills out of their stockings, right? These millennial fucks. And then you have like, okay, next thing you know, you got, okay, wait, hold on, guys. Before we start opening presents, I have an announcement. And they go, yeah, Paul, we know you're fucking homo. I mean, sorry, Paul, we know you're gay. Or John, we know you're gay. That'd be so anticlimactic. And then do you still come out of the closet, Paul? If that happens, if they already know you're out of the closet? Like, pretty, most guys that come out of the closet are most men or women, when they come out of the closet, I'm pretty sure the whole family already has an idea. You know?
Okay.
I had a gay brother once. He died of AIDS in the 80s.
Right.
It was it was called cancer, right? And so the funny
You
thing
said
is,
it was called cancer?
it was before Magic Johnson had it. Think about it.
Oh, yeah.
It was unknown in the 80s. Think about when we were in 9th grade. That's when my brother died of cancer. Later found out it was HIV. But even then,
Big T said stream went downhill real fast when he showed up.
who said that?
Big T.
Big T, how you doing? That must make
Tom
you little
shows
T.
up and just everything
That
goes
shit just went to the hell, man.
downhill.
I thought your neighbors were giving me some funny looks on the way in. Oh wait, that was just Michael. Michael tried to ignore me too. I go, hey Michael. He looks at him like, I go, Michael. So, oh Tom.
When did you see? Oh, the other night?
Just now, Michael's leaving to go to work.
Hey, what do you guys think of this? Oh, wrong one.
I think it's just you.
All right, Big T. I got a spot for you. The blue microphone's all yours, buddy.
What do you think of that?
That's painful looking.
Why?
It doesn't look bad though.
That's what I want to know.
I want to have my World Series ring turned into that.
Oh, fuck no, you're not. Your
Yeah,
World
here it
Series
is.
ring is fucking
Here.
huge.
Here, let's do that right here. Is that baseball World Series ring? I don't know.
No, you're not.
You go to see.
Here, now you can
turn
go.
enough tickets in, you get a World Series ring. Oh.
Now you can show your call it your high school ring that you had
I
made
got
for
something
you.
better for you.
Oh boy, we don't.
No,
we
I got
cannot show
something great.
nudity on this show.
No, it's not nudity. How about this?
What?
Senior year Evergreen football highlight reel. Wanna go retro? Go old school?
Nobody gives a fuck about that, Tom.
Oh, come on. It's
That's
funny, though.
25 years old.
I
dude.
know, but it's funny, though.
No, it's not.
Because it's with music and everything.
Engagement. Exactly why we can't play it. God, you pay attention.
Copyrighted music.
We could just play anything.
Oh my God, shut the
mute
fuck
it.
up. Engagement ring piercing is the new wedding trend and it needs to stop. Move over matching tattoos. There's a new sign of commitment for poor decision makers who happen to love each other, and it's way more painful and body altering and thus a deeper expression of love than some ink. Because nothing conveys love like paying someone to stab you in the ring finger. Finger piercings have become an actual real alternative to the engagement ring and wedding rings. It's somehow a quasi-legitimate beauty trend. As far as body piercings go, this looks like one of the most painful options possible. The engagement ring piercing basically embeds some or all of the engagement ring beneath the surface of the skin in order to show your partner that your commitment is more than just skin deep. And also that you're insane. Engagement piercings are just basically dermal piercings, as whatever you decided to have body piercers shove into your finger, usually a dermal anchor just goes right under the skin. Diamond dermal piercings and microdermal anchors are also available. If you can dream up a way to mangle your finger in the name of love, the engagement ring piercing trend will find a way to make it happen. By far the most upsetting engagement ring piercing image I've seen is the one where the engagement ring is just straight up embedded into the ring finger and a circle of skin is just sitting there elevated and gross like a hand has ringworm.
And then after you get married, they actually become an organ donor. They stab you in the finger and then rip your guts out when you're dead.
I just don't understand it.
Right?
I think it's less. I would rather have that than like a name though, because like tattoos are more permanent. Piercing, you pull them out, right?
That's true, but tell me, like, how as much as we use our hands in everyday life,
And that's what I was thinking, the stretching of the hand. Or if
it's
got
going to
hooked
get
on
caught
anything,
on
or-
things.
That would suck. Like this part here, like having this part of my ring right here, trying to like dig in my pocket for like loose change or spare change was that conspiracy theory we were talking about. Spare change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
remember-
that. Every time you put your
Every time
hand
you
in your
put
pocket.
trying to reach something, this gets in the way.
Well, not only that, man. You look at this hand with that dermal. Ugh.
So, some dermal.
But if you want to have something that pretty as a dermal, do something with your fucking fingernails. Because those shits are not pretty at all.
like rip them out,
At least paint
have
them.
them surgically removed.
Big T wants to know, what is your championship ring from?
Women's volleyball. See that look that Paul gave me?
Big T wants to know, what is your championship ring from?
It's a for the Utah Rockies Amateur World Series in 2017. So last year.
2 years ago, right?
Rockies?
2 seasons ago.
In a few months. Last October, we won it. So it's a baseball World Series ring, but not quite the one that you'd get if you were on like the Red Sox.
I just got an email that was like, somebody favored DJ Biggz Memorial. And I'm like, what the fuck? Did I die? But I forgot I have a mix on my Mixcloud that's Memorial Weekend mashup. The headline just said someone favored DJ Biggz Memorial. I'm like, oh shit, I'm dead. Well, nice knowing y'all. Thanks for hanging out.
I guess I need another DJ for my Memorial Day weekend party then, if you're dead by Memorial Day.
Yeah. So the video I want to show, the headline is the kid decides to bully a girl on Facebook and got a serious MMA beatdown in return. Is this girl Ronda Rousey in the making? Because that was a serious beatdown she pulled off. I think we need to call the WWE because this girl has some serious moves. According to ABC 7, the whole incident began when the soon-to-be recipient of the beatdown posted mean things on the girl's Facebook page. When she confronted him at school about it, he threw water on her. That's when she went all MMA fighter on him because, honestly, he deserved it. The incident got the attention of the Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter Kit Dale, who got the girl's permission to post the fight on his page. It said, I always encourage people to learn martial arts to, one, have the confidence to walk away so it doesn't affect you.
Yep.
But if it does and you don't have anywhere to back away, sometimes you're going to need that to protect yourself. Apparently, the girl was eventually suspended, and the boy had a black eye that lasted a few weeks, but it was still able to attend school, which, I mean, you totally understand why she was suspended. But, hey, you get what you deserve, right? If you're going to bully someone, don't expect them to not defend themselves. You definitely messed with the wrong person there, buddy. Here's hoping he has another MMA-style trashing in his future. Give this girl a medal.
Can I interact? Would you guys, I've been working on trying to get a professional MMA fighter on the set. Would you guys be up for that?
Sure.
Do you guys ever heard of Lisa, the Strangler Spangler? She's local. She fights. She's contracted with Invicta FC.
Okay.
She tore it up. Now she's a pro. She's my friend Mark Rizzosa. He went to Mountain View. That's his fiance. So I've been talking to her, and then basically, we can maybe put some scratch together. If we all put in a little.
Wait, we got to pay her? Fuck that. No.
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 Oh, okay.
I mean, I can get a member of the a chairperson of the NAACP to come and talk to us for free.
Right.
I'm not paying an
It's
MMA
just for
fighter.
her camp, just donation. It's not. It's just to help her with her camp. I would put in 20
Look,
bucks
if she wants some publicity, she can go
it's
get
not
it
for
other ways.
publicity. It'd be just kind of.
Yeah, I'll give her a tip. Quit asking for donations.
No, this was all brought upon me because her time is money. These fighters.
All of our time is
Yeah.
money, and we're here doing this for free.
I know, but still, I mean, it'd be kind of cool to have an undefeated professional women's MMA fighter.
Quit trying to suck your buddy's dick on our show.
Her dick does sound pretty big, though. Professional MMA
Look at
fighter
it.
and all.
Hold on. Does she fight like this? Because then maybe I'll give her $5.
Why don't you pull Lisa Spangler up?
Oh, I know. No, we're in the middle of something, Tom.
Oh, wow.
Shit. That was a good knee. Yeah, the knee's what did it.
He's not even fighting back though.
Wow, right there. That was the business. That other one was pretty good, too.
Was that high school?
Yeah.
Looks like it, yeah.
And
then she took
takes
her.
off.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now that guy's girlfriend's running after her.
Who
Well,
knows who it is?
no, I don't think that's probably her friend or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is. That bitch got jets. She got wheels.
She's an athlete, man.
Well, the
Sure,
fact
yeah.
that she went down in a dress and showed her panties to the whole school after she kicked the guy's ass, she was probably embarrassed and realized, oh my God, what did I just do?
Well, I mean, she defended herself.
Absolutely.
Props to her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not
She was
saying
like,
anything.
knock the fuck out.
I'd be taking my daughter out for ice cream social
Shit,
afterwards. Where we
yes.
going?
Shit.
That's
You
my
got
girl,
suspended
man,
from
right
school
there.
for a few days. Guess what we're doing?
Yeah.
Whatever you
Yeah.
want.
Oh, you mean you just got a vacation? Shit, let's go.
Let's go.
Whatever you want.
Corn dogs
Pretty
and putt
much.
putt, big guy. Make it happen, right?
But that's why I'm such an advocate of all kids, especially girls, doing something, But
Yes.
I mean, the fact that they try to act like girls are some sort of soft, fragile creature who can't, bullshit.
You know what? With the progress of the way society is going
Yeah.
and gender roles being slowly erased, we're going to come to a point in time where all of that mentality is left behind us too. Like,
What do you mean?
I really, truly believe the men, boys and girls will be equal growing up one of these days. So there's not going to be any more
As
a
far
boy
as
can't
what?
hit a girl type thing if it
Oh,
comes
I
down
see
to
what
it.
you're saying. Yeah.
I really think those gender roles are going to be erased.
I think it's already at that point. Like, I'll be honest with you. If a girl assaulted me, I have every right to put my hands on her to defend myself. There's no reason I don't. I can subdue most women without having to hurt them seriously, and would.
Right.
But
it's still socially unacceptable. If you cheat on a girl and she calls you a fucking prick and starts putting your business out there, you can't slap her.
No, obviously.
I think if there's a day where if people are offended to the level where they want to slap somebody, it's not going to care if you're man or woman. You just slap them.
Yeah, but that's assault. Anytime you take it to a physical level for a verbal
I know
thing.
what it is.
Yeah.
I know exactly what it is. I'm just saying. I see us getting to the point where men and women are on the same playing field in society to where it happens like that.
But that kind of shit we just saw.
We have way more physicality than them. That's a little bit different because they're younger, so they're not as developed yet. But.
I don't disagree, but look at the progression that we have made over the last 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get to a point where men and women are equal. It's no longer acceptable for one gender to do something that's not acceptable for the other gender to do.
It may just go that way. This is why every girl I ever date, I start teaching them jiu-jitsu and like base level martial arts. They need to know how to defend themselves because you never know who's going to come put hands on you, and I can't always be there.
So you teach them so they can know how to knock you out when you need to.
Also,
get
it gets awesome in the bedroom because we start fighting. it became a problem. I think I told you the chick I was seriously dating in my mid 20s and stuff. I taught her a bunch of like
fuck you,
jiu-jitsu
Matlow.
moves, and it became an issue. She tried to put me in a triangle choke one time and almost got me, and I had to like pick her up and slam her on the bed, kind of thing, just to get her to let go.
Oh damn.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you get it, once you get it cinched behind and you start reaching for the head, it's almost game time. Like, it's almost over, regardless of who you are.
She's on there pulling
she already had the triangle cinched, and she's like grabbing for my head, and I'm like, oh God, I panicked and picked her up, slammed her. She's like, you're an asshole. It's like, bitch, I was gonna die. Like,
fuck, man.
I've been knocked out twice in my life. Once by a dude, and once by a chick.
It was way past answering the phone.
It was way past it. Because I didn't expect it. We were just bullshitting and playing, and I'm between the legs, and all of a sudden she pops them up and gets it around my neck before I can do anything. It cinches it, and I panicked. Good girl though. Good girl.
Oh.
We need more like that.
But we don't need ratings. We don't need anything significant on our show. Okay.
Ratings.
How is an unknown MMA boxer going to get his ratings?
She's very known in the area.
I've never heard of her.
Because you don't watch MMA.
Exactly.
I do.
Do you know her?
I have no idea who she is, and I do know
She's
MMA.
an up-and-comer.
Hello.
I mean, what? Name 5 professional MMA fighters that are not in the UFC. You can't. No one can.
I could name 25 Bellator fighters. There's I don't know females as well.
Exactly. No one.
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody does.
Nobody knows
that's
this
what I'm
broad,
saying. So tell me about her clout again. Even though nobody knows females.
It's more good being on the show than it's going to do us.
But it would bring us some interesting topics for discussion.
We already have interesting topics. You're here. Hello.
I'll give you that much.
Whoever
I'll take the compliment any way I can.
Oh, interesting is not necessarily a compliment, Tom.
But we can leverage it though. Okay, let's ask our viewers. Would you like us to interview a pro MMA fighter, someone that's been on TV, someone that's
okay? Let's ask the viewers. Would you like us to kick Tom out and never let him back in the house?
I mean, that's hands down. I think the viewers will win on that one.
Big T said Paige Von Zant, and I will donate to get her on the show. She is from Portland.
She actually trains with Paige Van Zant. Just to let you know.
And big fucking deal.
Okay, maybe I could ask for Paige then.
Paige would probably do it for free. I'm not paying somebody to come on the show, and we can get so many people.
My buddy also trains Chael Sonnen and Paige Van Zant and his fiance. Lisa.
Ooh.
So there's some big names that my friend works with.
I have never heard of any of those fucking names. The reason I said
never heard of Chael Sonnen. He fought.
You're bragging. My buddy trains with those so and so.
Paige Van Zant.
I've been on tour with fucking 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who 50 Cent is.
Paige is fucking hot too.
I don't know who Paige is.
It said when she got her ass kicked by Rosa Namajunas. Oh my God, she got her ass. She hung in there.
Big T said Sonnen gets his ass kicked.
He does.
How about Liddell getting knocked out with one punch against Ortiz? Is that a garbage server?
Yeah.
Did you know our measles count is now up to 35 and OMSI was added to the exposure list?
No.
Fuck.
Yeah, how scary is that?
Just when they bought my ticket.
No more OMSI after dark?
No more OmniMax security for this guy.
Well, it's not like measles sticks around, dude. Right? It was there was a kid with measles, OMSI January 19th.
Yeah, but they said, 24-hour air exposure or something.
I don't know
You can
exactly.
go to the Mexicanville on 4th Plain and get measles shots. You see that I sent to everyone?
Mm-mm.
There's a measles vaccination place right next to, like, I think it's between like a tamale shop and a pot shop or something.
Yeah, I did see a thing that said even if you are exposed, if you get the vaccination within like 72 hours of exposure, you still are safe.
Nice.
So yeah, if you don't have it for some god-awful reason, go get it. I've
So-
been dealing with that whole argument online right now with the whole vaccinations and autism and potentiality of it causing harm.
I've
if
been
How do we
reading.
know? Like, do we know that we have...
There's no
If I
definitive
got booster
proof.
shot when I was a kid, am I covered? How do we know if we're covered? For
Oh
booster?
yeah, if you've ever had chickenpox
measles,
or measles,
mumps, rubella.
yeah, when you were younger, or if you've had the immunization shots, and I think it's like a 2-round thing or something like that. But if you've had those
I've
when
had
you were younger,
chickenpox.
then you're fine.
I'm fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
Big T.
what's the
that-
age range that's being infected? The 35? Most of them are under what? Under,
Just
under
a bit
15 or what?
uninoculated and mostly young. from my
Mostly young.
understanding.
Like, okay.
Mostly young and unvaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
Big T said, just think, OMSI has field trips there almost daily. This could get real bad real quick. There was
That's a
also
good point, Big T.
one of the cases was also at a Portland Trailblazers game a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
So, I mean, if you want something that could potentially spread wide with mass proportions. Luckily,
20,000
we
fans
do have
screaming
one of
and
the.
sweating at each other. Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
We live in a region of the country that has a much lower rate of vaccinations, but luckily there are enough people that are vaccinated that I don't think this is going to turn into a huge epidemic. Although Jay Inslee has declared it a health crisis, national health crisis.
Well,
So,
yeah, because it's like more cases than the last couple of years combined already, or something
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. And moving on with medical news, according to a post in New York Post that came out January 28th, just yesterday, we'll have a cure for cancer within a year, scientists claim.
Yep.
A team of Israeli scientists claim they will likely develop a cure for cancer in the next year. The Jerusalem Post reported on Monday. The new treatment is being developed by Accelerated Evolution Biotechnologies under the leadership of CEO Dr. Ian Murad, according to the report. We believe we will offer in a year's time a complete cure for cancer, says Dan Arador, chairman of the company's board. Our cancer cure will be effective from day one, will last a duration of a few weeks, and will have no or minimal side effects at a much lower cost than most other treatments on the market.
Crazy.
The treatment, called Mutato,
Give a fuck what it's called.
that's true. That's true. I just had to pause for a second because I think of Mufasa and tomato at the same time. The treatment, called Mutato, will use a combination of cancer-targeting peptides and a toxin that will specifically kill cancer cells. The treatment will eventually be personalized by a specific cocktail of the drugs given to patients based on their type of cancer, Murad told the newspaper.
That's super dope. I
Very.
knew it was promising. I've been seeing things in the last couple of years, but I didn't know they were like on the horizon, on the cusp of pretty much getting there. But that's exciting.
Yeah, within a year. Please.
Yeah. We're already like
How much
China's
is that
making
going to change the
babies
world?
that are like custom made and like super babies, and they're curing cancers.
Yeah. Big
It's just a matter
Big
of time.
T said baby boomers don't believe in vaccines, and then said, you don't think we have a cure already? Just think, if we find a cure, how many doctors are out of a job? Cancer research is a little sketchy to me. I absolutely agree. The pharmaceutical companies are keeping a stranglehold on medical research in this country, and anytime somebody comes up with something, they
Buy them out, suppress it, buy the
they
patent.
figure out ways to make sure that there's a lid put on it immediately. And that's why this is a team of Israeli scientists. So if cancer starts getting cured outside of U.S. borders, there's going to be no other option but for the pharmaceutical companies to give in, because the American people will just get tired of the fact that America's dying of cancer, but nobody else is.
Well, there's been a guy who supposedly already had
Yeah,
a
they get found
cure
in a
for
car in the
cancer
bottom of the
named
lake,
Brzezinski or something to that. Like, it's some long, ridiculous name, but supposedly he's already had a cure for several years. A treatment that,
Numerous people have
yeah,
For
cancer.
for a lot of things.
there's
been-
the Russian. There's like the Russian machine. You ever heard of that? It's like it sends like electronic waves to the body. I can't. Oh fuck! You have to Google this one. There's the Easiac tea from Canada, but it has to. Most of the Easiac tea is fake. The cancer tea has to have one ingredient that's, of course, illegal here in the United States.
Huh.
Yeah. And
Why is it illegal in the United States?
Because of cures. There's no money in cures.
Thank you.
We
That's
all
the
know
point.
that.
That's the point.
You can keep people well long enough to suck the life out of their insurance policies and their benefits. And once that goes dry, so do they.
Yep.
It's a sad truth about this, you know?
Absolutely agree.
Finally. I mean, must we agree on one thing at least. That's good. That's one.
Finally, some common ground.
It's a common ground. No, it's true. There's no cure. There's no money in cures.
Right.
A lot of money in treatments, though.
And the millionaires that are at the top of the food chain in the pharmaceutical industry, could you imagine if they all had to go bankrupt within a few months because all of a sudden cures started coming out?
I mean, it's a trillion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
Even if one thing's cured, they're
that's what
not
I'm
gonna
saying.
go broke.
How many billionaires would be just bums within 6 months'
I
time?
know. They're like, fuck, here's my 50
They just go and
Now I
put their
gotta
money
get-
in something else. So
Right.
that's another thing.
They go
Right.
from like a 50-foot bay liner to like a canoe.
Can we
You
just
know,
cure
and they're
most
rolling
medical
it
things so we can
themselves.
start putting money towards other stuff? Like,
Thank you.
How great would that be?
Please.
Like nail most of the medical stuff.
Please.
Well, mostly medical stuff is easily preventable, but people don't want to take care of their bodies. So, like, what do you do when people continually won't do the things, what they won't do preventative care, and then they get themselves into a situation where then you got to cure cancers and things, you know? It's like,
Right. Or anything.
I mean,
where
you
you
got
just
to
shit food on the
also
set.
get people on board with their own health as well. Like it's a multi,
But that's what
faceted
we have
thing.
cures for.
No, it doesn't. Preventative
So we can have
care.
our-
It's much easier to prevent things than to
Arby's.
then cure them once they're already there.
Dutch
You know,
Brothers, our Werthers, my Arby's 2
Isn't
for
that your
$5.
Dutch Brothers cup from like
couple
a
days
few
ago.
days
I got
ago?
another one in my car, I'm sure too. But whatever, they're everywhere.
The point is, you don't fucking clean up after yourself,
I cannot deny that one at least.
asshole.
Dick.
If I was a dick, you'd be sucking me. Why do we have houses for heroin addicts and
Why do we
provide
have
them with
cameras
supplies,
on
but
right
insulin is hundreds of dollars? Why do what?
Why do we have cameras on right now?
I don't understand.
Never mind.
I don't get it.
It's perverted. Don't worry about it.
So, Big T said, why do we have houses for heroin addicts and provide them with supplies, but insulin is hundreds of dollars? There's so many people that
Yeah,
haven't
you
been
can go,
able to
you can
afford their
go-
insulin.
Well, there's places now they'll shoot your smack for you, right? As long as clean needles.
Yeah.
You go to like AIDS awareness projects and trade in your old syringes for new ones, which is good, I think, because if people are going to do their dope, like
There's it's not just AIDS, dude. There's meth, like
Yeah, well,
heroin. There's
Hep C and all that
free
stuff,
heroin clinic places where you can go make sure that you get your heroin tested for free to make sure it's clean before you shoot it.
oh, for fentanyl and all that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the cop house to make sure your cocaine's real, and end up with handcuffs. Yeah. Hey, we're
You know,
gonna test your cocaine.
That story that came out,
That's so funny though.
I want to dive
So
more into it, but it was a real thing.
What?
With the tainted heroin that was going around, or the tainted, was it heroin or meth? It was like a
I
month
thought
ago.
it was math.
And there were a few police departments that say that there's a bad batch going around. We'll test it for free. They literally did test it and didn't arrest anybody.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
Could you imagine being that tweaker going into the police station? Will you test this?
Right. But the fact that they were finding dead bodies all over the place due to whatever was in the drug
Yeah.
was more concerning to them than the people that were actually the addicts. So they're like, well, if you're gonna use it, at least use it so we don't find your cadaver somewhere that's smelling up the place that we have
Yeah,
to
I
clean up
hear.
later.
What was that experience
Well, would you
like? Like
trust-
the
I'm
tweaker
sorry.
looking over his shoulder?
No,
If
would
you're
I
a
trust
drug
it? No.
addict, would you trust a cop to say, here's my dope?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
I'd be like, use a small piece. You're wasting it. You're wasting it. I need that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. But there were people that actually did, because the story in those towns where it was the
Wasn't
outbreak
here,
was
was it?
such a big deal. It wasn't here.
All right, good.
Everybody would have been. It would have been the
Just
talk of
checking,
the town
for my-
Yeah.
because it was the talk of the town in these neighborhoods.
Oh, wow. So people were like doing their meth and dying.
Yeah, literally.
Just like that.
Yes,
Just epidemic.
getting severely sick, guts rotting from the inside, and people are dying, and there's cadavers ending up in all of these back alleys that are decomposing and rotting and smelling up the town.
Right.
Imagine, it's like a fucking zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, that's no good.
So it came down to either let's take the chance, roll the dice, which is in a lot of people's minds, that's what you're doing anytime you're doing a drug like heroin anyways.
Yeah.
But
I mean, pretty much.
the police were at the point where we're just tired of, it's costing us so much money cleaning up the dead bodies. Let's at least test these drugs and try to figure out where the poisoned drugs are coming from.
Yeah. Well, that probably was like good investigation technique too, because it would let you narrow down which people were circulating in the areas with the dirty drugs. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of like narrow down like which targets you need to focus on.
Right. Well, and
It's
it
like
makes
a Safeway card, right? It tracks your shopping habits.
Something like
but This
that.
is the way they track.
It's like
track
these
your drug
6
habits.
addicts who we know frequent these couple dealers. You know, came back with dirty drugs. So
And I
narrowing it.
I don't know anything about the process or how it works, but how hard would it be for somebody with some money to all of a sudden say, I want to open a trap house, but they feel like a social justice warrior, so their intent is to open a trap house so they could
Kill all
put
the
a bunch
junkies.
of dirty drugs out there to kill the junkies.
I mean that
How hard would that be?
That wouldn't be very hard, but
Especially if you're offering like.
I think
good
there'd be
deal,
better ways
free-
to do
free
it.
drugs.
Like if you were really gonna just go around and
Yeah, it's
you're
so
trying to kill.
Oh, I
junkies.
agree.
If a stranger's
I agree.
offering you free drugs and they don't seem like they're a junkie or they don't seem like they, maybe it's one thing if you're at a party and people have drugs and they offer you drugs, right? Social circle.
I've never been offered free drugs. I've been living for almost 35 years, and I've never been offered free drugs in my entire life.
Next time I go on the road, I'll take you with me.
Do I gotta wear a wig and be a female?
No.
Because I've never, as a
No.
man, been
Get your
offered
blue
free
jack
drugs
here.
anywhere I've gone.
I could not
including
tell you.
groups with friends. They're like, "Oh, you don't have drugs?
Really?
That sucks.
I
You should get some."
could not tell you
relax, okay.
how many
Like,
bags
wait a minute, like,
of
My friends aren't that terrible. They're pretty
Anything.
bad.
it's easy to,
Huh?
like, if you're with the right people will offer you stuff. I'm just saying.
I
Like,
could
it
not
happens.
tell you how many bags of anything and everything aside from
When you're the DJ,
syringes.
you're pretty cool though. DJs and strippers and bouncers.
He's a guy. He's real close to getting muted. Real close.
I'll talk into this one. It's not on.
It's already muted.
This one's already be here. It's like
Like,
my evergreen mic.
The
right
number
here.
of times where baggies of stuff has been tossed up in my mixer, even thrown on a fucking record while it's spinning.
Spinning while you're scratching a record.
yes.
It's a bag of
I
whatever.
couldn't tell you how many times I've had
Fucking awesome.
Right?
That's awesome.
dime bags, 20 bags, ounces.
Ounces of what?
Bro, you know how many weed people there are around here?
Oh yeah, especially when you're
All of them.
Nobody's throwing me an ounce of coke, but 8 balls all day, all fucking
I
day.
think you just got at least one new groupie.
Little
Right?
little dime baggies with pills in it, X, Molly,
Yeah.
you name it.
You
dude.
just save all the bags for me, and I will do all the baggies.
I think we should prove. I think you should have a collection and like get a little lockbox. Have a collection and just bring it on set. And like, let's see, like, yeah, we need to get you back on
Oh
tour.
boy,
Oh no.
somebody's
What
funny. Somebody's
happened?
funny.
What happened? Who's
Judge Mental has its bite, says Biggz. Have you been able to find a scale that has a dial go up high enough yet? I heard Caterpillar's coming out with a new scale to measure their machines. Wholesale 10% can be yours. Good one.
Who is this guy?
Judge Mental has its bite. Is that a ball player on your hat about to hit your last brain cell? You're right. I'm dumber than a box of rocks. That's good. That's cute. Good one. Good one.
That's good. All right.
That's neat.
What?
All right, make sure you follow us when you talk shit too.
Yeah,
okay?
follow. Yeah.
Come in
us
every
is
day.
Free. Talking shit's free too. We might actually think it's kind of creative too.
Big T, we're so used to shit like that, it doesn't even phase us.
Amen.
So make judgmental. Make sure that you follow us, subscribe to us, come in every single day and chat your life away.
Fucking yeah.
Please.
Let us know how bad we're doing.
Yeah, we need somebody to harass you. Where's Jenny at, by the way?
I know,
Where's the
Jenny, where you
person
at?
harassing?
Where's Undead Unicorn? Man. So where's Jeff?
My name is
Jeff
Jeff.
in the box. Where
Where's
you
your
at?
mom at? Where's Fran?
She went to the hospital last night.
Oh, is she okay?
She's okay now.
All right.
Yeah, I
But
saw that. You said it's
she's-
just a
she's laid out.
What
herniation.
about your dad?
That was a hernia, yeah.
Dad?
Dad's okay. Well,
Okay.
see, Dad sits down at Mom's computer when Mom gets up to go take a break or do something else. So
If she comes back,
she's not there to sign in,
she
so
comes back,
Dad's
she's
probably
on
not
porn
signing
on the
in.
history browser.
Yeah, that's why I'm working on getting Dad his own computer just so he can.
Look at porn.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
He's Asian. He's perverted. Come on.
He's only half Asian.
He's only half perverted. Whatever.
So, according to the Reflector, this measles outbreak. I don't like to talk about local news, but this local news
This is national news. It's
national
local
news now.
national news,
Yeah,
though.
it is.
You weren't joking. I put on ABC News for the first time in 5 years, and it was the first thing that came up. Measles outbreak
in
like,
Clark
and then
County,
wait,
Washington. We're like,
Clark
holy
County,
shit, we're
Washington,
famous for something.
Right? First time ever.
Biggz and Josh were not lying.
Yeah. So the measles outbreak, this report came out 21 hours ago. Health director says response could cost hundreds of thousands. Public health director says outbreak could cost hundreds of thousands to the county. The ongoing local outbreak of measles is close to 36 confirmed cases as of Monday afternoon, with Governor Jay Inslee declaring a public health emergency and the county director of health believing that cases will continue to climb in February. Clark County Public Health announced Sunday that there were 35 confirmed cases with 11 suspected. On January 25th, Inslee announced the declaration directing state agencies to use Washington resources and do everything reasonably possible to assist affected areas. The proclamation will allow use of a nationwide emergency management assistance compact through which Washington can request additional medical resources from other states. Following Inslee's declaration, several local lawmakers acknowledged that the help it would provide. State Senators Linda Wilson and Ann Rivers, alongside State Representatives Paul Harris, Brandon Vick, and Larry Hoff, said in a statement that apart from allowing the use of state resources, the declaration brings a heightened public awareness about this dangerous and preventable disease.
Get vaccinated.
I'm saying.
Parents, if you don't believe in vaccines, you better start believing
What
in
up,
them now.
D?
What up, D? Prior to Inslee's announcement, Clark County Public Health Director Alan Melnick spoke to Clark County Council about the ongoing outbreak, explaining it was likely the county would be dealing with new cases through February. Melnick said measles was exquisitely contagious, explaining that 2 hours after a contagious individual left a room susceptible, people could still catch the disease. So it's two hours.
2 hours.
Get
Yeah,
vaccinated.
not a 24-hour
Yeah, I
thing.
thought it was 24 hours for some reason.
The
Get
initial symptoms
vaccinated.
were also similar enough to other ailments during the current time of the year that those unvaccinated wouldn't know if what they were experiencing was measles or something more benign.
Get vaccinated.
So yeah, I could feel that they're so similar, you could think you got the flu until you wake up with covered in spots.
Yeah.
Get vaccinated.
Regarding costs, Melnick said that within the first several days, the outbreak could cost the county $31,000, adding the total cost for the outbreak would likely be several hundreds of thousands of dollars by its end. Melnick said his department has had to shift staff from other programs such as the Nurse Family Partnership, employees who use usual workloads, including high-risk individuals like young children, or even food inspectors whose usual work involves billable expenses the county could not collect on. This basically impacts everything we do, he said. The Clark County Council made their own public health emergency declaration January 18th. Melnick said that the declaration is allowing the department to use mutual aid agreements to expand their resources. Speaking before Inslee's declaration, Melnick added such a measure would help bring the federal assets as well. Melnick said all cases were at ages where the individual should have been vaccinated based on medical guidelines. All of those cases could have been prevented by a very safe and very cheap vaccine, Melnick said.
Get vaccinated.
He explained schools have been cooperative through the outbreak with implementing the exclusion policies for unvaccinated students and staff to stay home during the incubation period following discovery of a case.
Get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated.
It's real simple. Get hipsters. Get your kids vaccinated.
So,
thank you.
Tom, you were asking about the ages?
Yeah. What's the demographics?
So we've got ages 1 to 10 years, we have 25 cases. 11 to 18 years, 9 cases. 19 to 29 years, 1 case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Immunization status, unverified 4 cases. Unimmunized, 31 cases. Hospitalization, 1 case.
Get vaccinated. Simple solution, folks. Especially if your kid's like under 15 or so. Like
Makes it real easy, people.
1 to 10. Get vaccinated. Let's end this outbreak now, so we're not known as the fucking city, the county in the one county in the whole United States has measles. That's what we're known for right now, measles. We used to be known for like Ed
Yeah.
Herman, Greg Biffle, what else? Randy Myers, and now measles. We had a lot better things to be known for in Vancouver, Washington than measles.
Catching up on chat. Judge Metal said, I'm sorry to hear about your father. He raised an incredible young man, funny, handsome, and intelligent. Yes, my brother is. The Duane Johnson, the D Johnson said, what's good, fellas? And then the D podcast experience says, what's good, fellas? It was like being mirrored by somebody, bro.
Like a retarded echo.
Judge Metal said, sounds boring. Who has ever died from the measles? And then continues with careful vaccinations have had rare instances where the medicine caused mental retardation. So make sure the vaccine is for life-threatening ailments.
So when you get your meth tested, get your
That's so
vaccination
ignorant.
tested too, and that way it's all
Wait, what's
safe.
ignorant?
so much about so much. Sounds
I don't know.
boring.
Get vaccinated. I'm tired
You
of
know
being
what? If
known
you
as a
don't like
fucking
it,
measles
you can change
town.
the channel.
We are the
What
coup
happened?
for a
Did I
reason.
miss something?
Oh, judgmental says sounds boring. Who has ever died from the measles?
Oh.
How many other towns you know that's been on national
Vaccinations
news
have had
for the measles,
incidences
though?
where they cause other medical conditions.
Yeah.
That's a proven fact. But if you weigh the pros and cons of vaccines, I think
9-day difference.
it's pretty clear.
I wrote exactly that on Facebook
think it's
the other
okay
day,
to
talking to somebody
roll
because
the
they wrote or put the thing with thoramine or whatever, and it's like even if we gave you that with 100% accuracy, they've removed most of that from anything like the mercury aspect, that the specific chemical that most people try to claim causes like autism. We've essentially removed most of it from vaccines at this point. And even if we granted that that did cause autism or it caused all the damage that it did, it still saved way more lives than
Right.
it has hurt. So
Isn't-
it outweighs the potential like negatives, you
Am I
know.
thinking mercury? Like, is it also found in like fish, like seafood too?
Yes.
See, so you can go get salmon and become autistic. You know,
But
like,
you'd have to eat a
High-
whole
yeah.
lot of fucking salmon
but
in order
still,
to
there's
have
mercury in a lot
that
of
kind
things. Is
mercury
the
level.
point. So why not roll the dice and get vaccinated?
Because it was the concentration and then the schedule that most people are concerned with, and then things like your yearly flu vaccination adding to it, and so pretty much continual mercury exposure in somebody who's young and doesn't have a super developed immune system
Wow,
may be
our
potentially
measles,
susceptible.
apparently our measles outbreak was on Good Morning America this morning. Judgmental,
We're horrible.
finishing up
Love
in
my
chat,
hometown.
Judgmental said, okay, this is fucking boring. Change the topic, engage the audience, or I'm out of here. Bye.
I'll leave. So it's.
Bye.
I gotta go hit a meeting.
All
right.
That name is Blue. I gotta click on it to see it.
Well, that was good. Yeah.
Arcula?
Give me the-
Arcula 5 said the elderly and those who are medically fragile need to be protected. Vaccinations are
All right, have a good
crucial.
one.
My sister has a susceptible immune system. Measles could actually kill her. Tom is right. The first person in chat ever to say Tom is right.
Who's-
Right
oh
there.
my god! I'm gonna stay for another 45 minutes. Who said that?
Arcula 5.
Love you, Arcolo 5.
Duane said
I don't know
no
what I
other
said that was right,
vaccine preventable disease causes as many deaths. 2.6 million people died of it in 1980, and in 1995, 145,000 died alone. Measles are fucked up. Judgmental said, what about the plague? What about frogs? I like frogs.
Nice.
That's possible. Just don't bring it back here. The D. Johnson said in the late 1340s, 25 million or so from the flag, and many more after that. Jeff in the box, we were just talking about you. What up, boing?
Oh shit! What up, Jeb? My name is Jeb.
What up, boing? Arcula said it has never been proven that vaccinations cause mental disabilities. That's not true.
It has in high
That's
quantities.
why I looked at you. I'm like, hey, you take that one.
mercury. Yeah, I mean, we have the science that proves mercury in high concentrations does cause brain ailments. It's just, are the schedules actually causing them? And then there's differences in the way that we're like genetically constructed. So there may be some sort of thing where they affect African American children at a higher substantial rate than Caucasian children. We don't know. We need more science, and we can't just continually let the CDC fund and then skew the studies for however they want, because when people do independent studies, they're contradictory. So we need more evidence, more research, in my opinion, to get more definitive answers. But factually, yes, high concentrations of mercury does damage the brain, for sure.
Yes. Judgmental said, you know what was not boring? SARS. SARS was not boring.
That's true.
Duane said, agreed. Oh, D. Johnson, at the Judgmental, all diseases that kill aren't boring. The world needs more knowledge of the pros and cons of vaccines.
Exactly.
And then Judgmental said, at Article 5, it's a basic Google search. Which part was a basic Google search? Oh, the never been proven that vaccinations cause mental disabilities? Yes, it kind of has. Arcolo said we can actually bring down medical costs by vaccinating more, then you don't pay for it later in the hospital. Duane said also, nobody is asking you to stay at Judgmental. Ben Comedy said, all right, I'm back. Welcome back, Ben Comedy. Are we talking about OMSI? No, we're talking about the measles outbreak in general. Duane said, I'm sure you won't be missed. Speaking to Judgmental, I'm sure. Argala said, mental retardation is genetic, not caused by a vaccine. That can be sourced back to one doctor that was debunked.
I mean, it's not. It's far more than one doctor. Like you said, simple Google search can find that. There's a plethora of doctors on both sides of the coin who have all sorts of things to say about it, which is why I say that we need more in-depth studies on it and not to just be funded by the CDC. The fact of the matter is all the 9 major studies that people cite as the proof against these things are all funded by the CDC. So why would it not be like confirmation bias since they pay for it, you know? You can fish for whatever you want if you pay for it. I mean, it's pretty simple. If it's a peer-reviewed study that can be replicated, then that's what it is.
Well, and if it was that big of an issue, it would be more voluntary.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, I would probably disagree there because of things like this. Like if you have a preventable or a disease that potentially could come back and ravage the American population or just any population, global population, but we have a safe way by vaccinating people to essentially eliminate a major disease down to nothing.
But
that's one of those things I do feel like should be forced.
If the probability of side effects was that big,
I mean, they're not. Like I said,
that's what I'm saying. That's my point. It's not. Even it is very possible, but not very probable.
Possible, but like I said, even if we were to grant them the full extent of their argument, which I don't, but like just for humor's sake, if we were, it still is outweighed by the lives that it's saving, you know. Right. And so, like for me, there's still no argument. That's my point.
There. Like if they were closer together, if
the numbers
probability was more towards you're going to end up with mental illness, then yeah, I could understand why it would be an optional thing, but it's not.
Yeah.
Amid measles outbreak, legislation proposes to ban vaccine exemptions in Seattle, and I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that for at least the major ones. I don't think people should have to go get the yearly
for
flu
all
shot.
73.
But whatever I thought it was less than that. I thought it was like.
No, it was literally 72 72 vaccines now that a child will get.
Have to get
to their to their 18th birthday or something.
That doesn't sound right to me. I thought there was far less.
We read the breakdown of it early
and
last
I thought
week.
most of them were like whatever they call them, the chemical soups or whatever, because it's like several vaccines all in one.
Yes. Do kids really get 72 doses of vaccines? 13 vaccines, including 5 doses of DTaP, 4 doses of IPV, 3 or 4 doses of hepatitis B, 3 or 4 doses of HIV, 4 doses of Prevnar, 2 or 3 doses of rotavirus, 2 doses of MMR, 2 doses of Varivax for chickenpox, 2 doses of hepatitis A, 1 dose of Tdap, 2 or 3 doses of HPV. The number of doses depends on the age you start the vaccine series. 2 doses of MCV4, meningococcal, and yearly influenza vaccines, as well as protection against 16 vaccine preventable diseases, including diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, measles, mumps, rubella, polio, chickenpox, pneumococcal disease, hepatitis A, hepatitis B, meningococcal disease, HPV, rotavirus, HIV, and flu. About 28 doses of those vaccines are by age of 2. 35 doses of those vaccines are by age 5. As few as 23 individual shots by age 5 years if your child is getting combined vaccines, like pediatrics or Penicil and Kinrix or Quadricil and Proquad. About 54 doses of those vaccines by age 18 years, with a third of that coming from yearly flu vaccines.
Yeah, so that's what kicks it up,
right.
Like another 20. So, yeah, it's like, 50-something at the end of 18 with 20 flu shots, essentially. So about 30-something, which was about what I thought, somewhere in that number, which still isn't a low number. It's still a lot.
If they're getting the combination vaccines.
But, yeah. From my understanding, the combinations, there was a couple that were slightly less safe, and so you could do a thing where you spread it out so it wasn't like as much of a concentrated dose, but then you're getting essentially more shots.
Right.
But like I said, from my readings, the things that I've seen, there's kind of some debate on it, and it may affect certain genetic structures differently. Like I said, like the African American DNA structure may actually, for some reason, attack us differently. But like I said, I'm no geneticist, so I would like to hear other people, their take on it. The actual accredited people, not just dummies like me. So.
Archelaus to do a better Google search. Watch your sources. That's important, but there's plenty of sources that say that vaccines do lead to many different things. So,
yeah, I mean, I read the entire CDC page on all their negative aspects too, just to go through and see. And even on the CDC's own website, they state numerous things: brain defects, autism potentiality. It's on the CDC website itself, because they have to list potentialities. And so even if it's 1 out of every million or whatever on the case study, it's still on there on the CDC's website, which is why I posted it directly to my Facebook wall so anybody can go and read it themselves. It's I can sit here and tell you anything you want, screenshot it for you and everything, but unless you go read it yourself on the CDC's website, I mean, it virtually means nothing. And then if you want to go cross-check it, you can go talk to other doctors who, like I said, have the exact opposite to say, kind of thing. And then they'll, they cite all their references and studies as well. You can fish for what you want to hear if you want to, but if you're being honest, you should try to look for both sides of the argument.
Yeah, or non-objective sources.
Yeah.
D said, anytime we do research, cross-checking, and even more study needs to be done. I think we can all agree that these diseases are fucked up. Ben Comedy said, if you don't believe in vaccinating, you're not allowed to have fun from science. Yeah, if you don't believe in vaccinating, you don't get to go to OMSI, asshole.
No dinosaur exhibits for you.
Judgmental said, I'm just being devil's advocate. Duh. You've been a devil since you came in here, but it's cool.
I like people who play the devil's advocate. I do it mostly.
Oh, Judgmental even called out Duane, said, I love how you brainwashed individuals' work. I did my homework. There can't be an alternate scenario. There can't be. You did your homework. Well done. Can't be. Well done.
There can be.
I'm just being devil's advocate. Vaccinate your kids, people, but also be aware of the real side effects that can be present. If your kid starts acting weird, well, don't let whatever is wrong with them go unchecked. It's not like you can fix autism, but, I mean...
No.
There are ways to...
I mean, you can fix it if you push him down the stairs and he doesn't live. It's just fixed, essentially.
My nephews are autistic. I don't even want to hear that shit.
Like I said, I used to work with them.
Jeff in the box said people are just pussies and don't want to get shot, so this is their scapegoat. You know what? I bet there is some truth to that. A lot of parents are like, man, I wouldn't get that shot, so I'm not gonna make my kid get that shot.
Yeah.
Or the parents who are just so willing to take the easy way out now, they just don't want to hear their kid cry.
Mm.
Like, how many parents hear their kids start crying or whining, so they put a tablet in front of their face?
All of them?
All of them. They're like doing whatever it takes to appease the kid, keep the kid from getting emotionally distraught. Well, what's going to happen when that kid gets a little bit older?
Yeah.
That kid's going to be a bitch and emotionally distraught for the rest of its life because it's going to continue to be emotionally distraught until it gets its way.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen when you get in the real world? You don't get your way that easy. So... that's the bigger problem than vaccinating and taking the chance of getting something. Yeah, Tom left. Juice Box Heroes, what up? He said MMR takes like 10 shots alone. Measles, mumps, rubella.
Does
I'm
it?
assuming.
I don't think so.
Well, it may have when we were kids. Who knows?
I was gonna say, I don't think it does anymore. I don't even remember getting that many shots when we were kids.
Judgmental wants to know if we use a VPN.
Why? So you can try to hack our shit or something?
Yeah, that's what I was going to be like. That's funny, dude. That's real funny. Come at me, dog. Furthermore, have you ever ventured into the deep web? Duane said, fuck that deep web shit.
I mean, most people who think they've ventured into the deep web haven't even
scratched the surface.
Yeah. That's the funny thing.
Yeah. That's funny, Judgmental. You really think you're on top of game, bro, but you're really coming across as a troll right now, so. And not even a good troll. You're like a C-rate or D-rate troll.
Motivated by the reputation
Fuck
of
you,
marijuana
ads.
being the gateway drug.
Growing up with a
Oh, never mind. That was part of a news article. This is a very important news article to a lot of us. Jeff said, I bought mushrooms from the deep web before.
Did you get them? Did it work?
Yes. The deep web shit is nonsense and needs to be blown up. I don't know about all that, but
Bro, I got a mystery box from the deep web, and I'm going to open it with you guys right now. Fuck, dude.
Let's do it. Oh, Jeff said, yeah, I got them.
Oh, wow. You
He's
got
not
them.
joking. He's not joking.
Nigga, send me some, please. I need some mushrooms in my life. I cannot seem to find them right now. I was thinking about actually growing my own because you can just get the syringe full with the spores. And
Juicebox said, I had them redone about 9 years ago. They're not too bad, and I would rather take the side effects instead of dying from whooping coughs or mumps. Absolutely.
I mean, bro, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Like I'll reiterate it one more time. Even if we granted, sorry, I'll quit hitting the table. Even if we granted the fact that
By judgmental.
all of these fucking negative aspects that people are trying to preach are happening with vaccines, even if we gave that 100% validity, though we don't, I still think people need to be getting vaccines, at least for the major things. Maybe, like I said, I personally don't get the yearly flu vaccine. I think that's kind of horse shit because it's just a guess anyways. It's a different, series of different flus, and they just give you the ones for like the most prevalent that year around. I'm not a fan, and why add more potentiality for things that you don't necessarily need? That's not the same as like the mumps and the measles and rubella and chickenpox. Like those things will kill you. So we definitely still need vaccines for that. We just need some like common sense in this world, which I know is not that common anymore. That's my favorite saying. Common sense is not that common, but it's just like, do the things that we know, cost to benefit ratio. What's the potentiality here? People aren't dying from the flu. People do die from the flu, but far less often than mumps or measles potentiality. Like, it just we got to weigh our options and then kind of like act accordingly, I think.
Bend Comedy sent us a video. Jeff said I could hook you up with a guy, Josh. His name is Josh also.
Oh, send him my way. Us Joshes get along.
I'm probably sure we're not supposed to play this video because it's a Comedy Central clip. I wish Shawn was here. I would ask his permission right now.
What's the worst that can happen? They just fucking
I mean, we'll have to go through and
delete that section.
Do we have a pen and paper? We don't even have a fucking notepad since we redid everything out here.
Yeah, you do. Here you go.
Okay. I'm just gonna write down the timestamp of when we're playing this video, so it's a lot easier for Shawn to cut out, or me to cut out, or you to cut out, because Shawn just doesn't want to do this anymore.
He does.
Shawn quit.
Shawn was on there.
Shawn quit. I know.
I was gonna say I saw him. He's saying cactus.
I know. So we're gonna play this video that Ben Comedy linked us to, because I think it's probably hilarious.
To be so talented at such a young age. Is this kind of talent in the family?
What a marvelous day! Nothing gives me more joy than teaching my students about the human body. But since your children aren't vaccinated, it's incredibly unsafe for them to come to school.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just believe that vaccines are the parents' choice.
And I believe they're unnatural.
They're a conspiracy.
So
I know those
instead,
two.
I'll
They
be
live here in
educating
Portland.
you, for though you are grown
They sure do.
adults, you all need a lesson in biology. Let the learning begin.
How do you get 3 of those up an ass? I want to know.
What I want to know is why did like
system is activated. You see? Those
we're analyzing this, so it's free use, right?
Yeah.
So look, okay, hold on, stop.
Look at that. With the extended plunger, how do you get that up an ass?
Well, not only that, dude. If she held the jar upside down, wouldn't everything fall out of it?
No, that's how they do it. They normally have like
A rubber cap
Rubber-
on it, but there's no cap on this bottle.
that's how they normally seal them. It'll be like a thing overlay, and it'll be colored a lot of times, and they go right
But there's a
into it.
silver ring that puts the rubber stopper on top of the bottle.
Oh, you're mad because they didn't draw the seal thing on
Yeah.
it? I mean, it's
If you hold the bottle upside down, it's gonna spill.
you're thinking way too far into this. I
Okay.
think.
Observe as the vaccine
But how do they get that up an
activates
ass? I
their
need to
immune
know.
System is activated. You see? Those white blood cells are learning how to protect the
Ben
body
Comedy said there's
from
also now a
disease.
school bus that can shrink itself down to a molecule.
Where's the proof?
I mean, that
Where's
makes
the
sense, though.
evidence?
It's literally
Oh, also
outside
no
your
school bus.
window. Just turn your heads. You can see it happening. Here in the lungs, the measles virus can attack the respiratory system, which can cause
Oh, I wish my lungs
pneumonia.
looked that pink.
But observe, the vaccine contains a weakened form of the disease, which passes through the body.
I was gonna say I wish mine had
It
blue
also
squares or
contains
blue
a
crosses
ton
and
of
pluses, but
toxins.
I feel like
Even
you just
murder.
snoop.
Okay,
it's a bad thing.
Smoke
very
weed every
wrong.
day. It's just in my lungs, just
Vaccines
chilling.
contained a non-toxic variant of mercury. Today, they don't contain mercury of any kind.
Why do you think that? Because Western medicine says so?
No, because this bus can shrink down to the molecular level, and you can watch it happen. Just watch. That one's oxygen, that one is hydrogen, but no mercury. So, oh my, where did she go?
I'm healing this body the same way I heal my kids. Crystal therapy. It's a totally safe. Oh man, that was expensive.
What on earth are you doing?
We gotta take out this vaccine before it gives that kid autism. Where does that happen, by the way?
Let's see, that happened, well, nowhere. There's zero evidence that vaccines cause autism or mental disorders of any kind. Do people actually think that? I do. Hi, I'm Jenny McCarthy. Thank goodness nobody employed.
Oh my god.
And I don't believe in vaccines. And I want to be your next president.
Seriously?
Got him. That's the last one. Why is it getting so hot in here?
Without the vaccine, it appears the body is now infected with measles and is suffering from a fever of 103 degrees.
Woo.
Oh dear.
Bet you wish I had my crystal now.
Thanks for watching. Click here to subscribe to College.
So your crystal is gonna keep you from getting a fever, essentially. How about that?
Humor and
What do you think, Josh?
videos.
About what? The video? It was all right. I didn't really have any issue with it except the end part where they pretty much tried to dismiss the argument.
Yes.
It's a little disingenuous, but other than that, I mean, pretty accurate.
I concur.
Just like anything, I think we need additional research, and there's no harm in doing additional research. And if it's not harming, then it'll prove it, you know? So what's the harm in showing that or demonstrating it? I think when people's babies are involved, though, they deserve some level of peace of mind, you know, besides just the one source continually telling them the same thing, you know, some sort of independent research. Because didn't they say something similar about cancer? Like, we'll never be able to cure cancer. And now we
Yes.
have it about to be cured in India. Like, the thing is, I'm starting to trust you guys less and less. I'm starting to think you don't have our best interest in order. Like,
Who? The American Medical Society?
yeah, right?
Oh, are you kidding me?
It's a little alarming.
See, you know what happens if the pharmaceutical companies start losing money because people start becoming cured? They're not able to fund these research trips for the doctors and the medical mucky mucks and the people at the top of the food chain
Yeah.
4 times a year anymore. The all expense paid trips to Cancun and shit. Thanks for
I'm going to be real
prescribing.
interested to see if that really manifests. Because in a year, like, that's around the corner. That's before Trump is technically reelected. I mean, it's going to be crazy. Think about that. We're curing cancer before Trump gets reelected. Like,
Ben
Trump is
Comedy
still
said the
skinny?
research shows that vaccine keeps diseases from spreading and killing millions. What's the argument? There is
none.
argument for that, but
None.
there is a correlation between vaccines and potential other health risks.
Yeah, that's it.
Nobody has said that due to those potential other health risks, it's worth not taking the vaccines at all.
In fact, for clarification's sake again, we'll reiterate.
Yeah, juice box. That's kind of the point. Like, if you can cure cancer, you will cure any autoimmune disease, and I wouldn't be surprised if I know I get in a lot of trouble when I seem to use that phrase, but I wouldn't be surprised if we've had that same cure around for like 15 years.
Yeah.
It's just been kept under wraps because it would bankrupt the pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I also wouldn't be surprised, but we have some evidence in that regard. And like I said, there's a dude who at least has been pretty openly making that claim for a couple of years. And I said, I want to say like 3 years back, we should at least be looking in. If somebody has a potential cure for cancer, why would we not at least humor it and be doing studies to disprove it, if nothing else? You know? It just made no sense to me at that time. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like if we have a potentiality and the U.S. government does it for fucking zombies. You know, if we have
Right.
even less than a 5% potentiality for something, you guys said you'd put a contingency plan in order. So we do for zombies. Why not for like potential people's kids getting fucked up or something, or 9/11, or just all the other things that I think are potential.
There's so much stuff I wish I could just play on here because so much cool shit that people should be seeing, but then we get in trouble.
Yeah.
There's a church that is saying that Bible study class is the likely origin of the measles outbreak.
God damn it.
Grace Point Christian Church apparently is saying the Bible study class is the likely origin of the measles outbreak.
So how did the Bible get the measles? Like it was a fucking some sort of.
Juicebox Hero said, but Josh, cure for cancer is weed, duh. God, I hate hearing that from people that don't have cancer.
The cure for cancer is weed? If that's the case, then I'll never get cancer ever.
Speaking of, Ben said next topic. Let's go into the next topic. Study shows legal access to marijuana reduces opioid overdoses.
Yeah.
The study found that counties with marijuana dispensaries open experience 6 to 8% fewer opioid-related deaths among white men. More than half states have legalized marijuana either recreationally or medicinally, but there is still a stigma that cannabis is a gateway drug. That's what one professor at UA Little Rock believed, so he dug deeper into research and was surprised by his results. Shocking. The whole topic itself is motivated by marijuana itself being the gateway drug, says Dr. Rhett Smith, assistant professor of economics at UA Little Rock. Growing up with a father in law enforcement and an ER nurse as a mother, Smith is familiar with the opioid crisis and the growing acceptance of marijuana. Topics of drug abuse weren't exactly foreign topics at our dinner table, Smith said. In 2015, he began researching how local access to medical cannabis impacts opioid-related deaths. As states continue to legalize marijuana, we still see the number of opioid deaths climb, Smith said. He believes he would prove that the rising availability of marijuana correlates with the rising overdose rates. I was taken back by the results, Smith said. In the 2018 study, the effect of medical cannabis dispensaries on opioid and heroin overdose mortalities, Smith looked into where cannabis dispensaries were open and compared that to the country's overdose mortality rates using the CDC data from 2009 to 2015. He found that counties with marijuana dispensaries open experienced 6 to 8% fewer opioid-related deaths among white men. Deaths involving heroin declined by 10% after a dispensary opened. It's the areas that don't have marijuana that are seeing these negative effects, Smith said. Medical marijuana is expected to be available in Arkansas in a few months. In the state, overdose deaths have been steadily climbing. In 2013, the crime lab reports 180 overdose deaths. In 2018, it was up to 340.
Damn.
Primarily what we're seeing is pharmaceutical tablets mixed with alcohol or taken with other classes of drugs, says Cindy Moran, assistant director for the Arkansas Crime Lab. Time will tell what marijuana will mean for overdose mortality rates in Arkansas. From the prescription drug perspective, it will be consistent with what we found. We should see fewer people dying from prescription drugs, Smith said. While the study does not address why access to marijuana contributes to fewer opioid overdoses, Smith hopes more research like this will offer a better understanding to solving the opioid epidemic.
I know why. Once you smoke a blunt, you're too tired to get up to go get some crack. It's science. You're too busy going to Taco Bell to cure the hunger, you know? Why would you want an opiate? Plus, opiates and weed just don't mix.
Right. Ben said weed is a gateway to a more mellow life. It depends on your personality. It depends on who you are.
Unless you're Biggz.
For the most part. Duane said weed isn't a gateway drug. That's the war on drugs bullshit campaign they had in the 80s when drugs like cocaine and heroin were actually introduced by the same fucking people that say weed is a gateway drug. I would disagree with that a little bit in the fact that depending on the age you are when you start using THC products.
Only because what? A gateway drug?
Yes. And only because of personal experience, and and I'm not saying I'm an expert by any means. Based on personal experience, I knew a kid that, for some reason, his mom thought it was a good idea to get him on a medical marijuana program when he was 13. When he didn't have marijuana, he was getting into his grandmother's pill cabinet and taking her opioids, and that turned into a meth issue, a heroin issue.
Yeah.
He dropped out of high school. And I knew the kid before he was on the medical marijuana, and he was an A student. He had his shit together. He was a smart kid. He was an athletic kid.
Why'd they put him on the weed then?
Something traumatic happened in his life, and I'm trying to figure out how to say this without exposing too much information.
Yeah.
The kid had an influence in his life, a positive role model that was no longer part of his life.
Yeah.
And he took a turn for the worst after that role model was not in his life anymore.
And you don't think that was the bigger factor, or not the smoking weed?
I think it could have been, but that's the reason why his mom put him on the weed, because he started acting out.
Yeah.
He didn't have that male role model anymore.
That's what I'm saying. You don't think that is the bigger factor?
Oh, no,
in that
I
equation?
think it definitely does. So I'm not saying that this is the absolute. He ended up becoming a heroin addict because he started at weed at a young age. I'm just saying it could be possible.
For sure.
I'm never gonna say weed isn't a gateway drug.
Yeah.
Because just like I can't say that weed always mellows people out, because it doesn't.
There's no absolutes.
There's no
except that
definitives.
there are no absolutes.
Right. Ben Comedy said 40 plus age white men need weed the most.
True. So they'll stop serial killing. God damn, you guys won't quit killing people.
This one. Well, wasn't the Louisiana killer just a young kid?
Maybe.
Did you see that? It was another mass shooter the other day. I think it wasn't a suspect in 5 Louisiana shooting deaths captured in Virginia 2 days ago.
And how old did you say?
He doesn't look like he's very old.
But he white, for sure. Fact.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. I'm gonna
Honkies.
finish catching them on chat.
Yet niggas are the dangerous ones y'all keep saying.
The issue, in my opinion, comes down to a lack of education of the actual health benefits of marijuana, and I don't disagree with that at all. Jeff in the Box said opioid overdoses have gone down 10% in all Washington counties after legalizing marijuana. I don't disagree, nor am I surprised by that at all. I'm actually kind of surprised the numbers aren't higher.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand.
Because I know a lot of people around here that are...
Why people think it's a gateway drug. When you smoke a blunt and you
on
don't
opiates.
smoke, you can't even make it to the gate to, get to the pizza. So it's a gateway drug. I just don't
Not
get
a
it.
gateway, because you don't even want to go to the gate to open the fucking thing.
The pizza guy's here. Just text him and tell him to come in. The door's unlocked.
The gate is too far away. Ben Comedy sounds like weed isn't the cause. Sounds like weed was the Band-Aid mom used to cover up the issue that caused the addiction problem. Absolutely not, because I know for a fact he was not using anything else before he was medically diagnosed.
It just sounds like
I know that for a fact.
Lost somebody very close to him, and it had a very adverse effect on him.
It was traumatic.
Yeah, and he didn't know how to handle it, which happens to a lot of people, We don't, that's another thing I wish they taught in school, how to grieve properly.
If a doctor is going to prescribe medical marijuana to a kid at that young age, it's also, to me, it's...
irresponsible,
right.
Unless you would have to have some damn good evidence, and I don't know what he would be thinking why you would give a kid who's going through a traumatic, because from my understanding, weed exacerbates brain abnormalities.
That's part of the problem is if a doctor is going to prescribe a kid something like that, they're real quick to jump to a diagnosis or a prognosis without taking the steps to figure out what got that kid there in the first place. And that's why we have so many mental issues as it is in this country now.
That's the whole medical field.
The mom should have taken him to a therapist rather than giving him weed. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not arguing with that at all. The kid was taught, if you feel sad, take drugs. Absolutely.
Yep.
Completely agree with that.
Well, I wish more people were okay with therapy, which is why I talk so openly about it and try to express it in a way so people realize you don't have to
Duane,
be embarrassed or scared to talk about these kinds of things. We all have different emotions and sadness and anger and things that are good and constructive to talk about. I think it's positive for most people to get into some sort of therapeutic, avenue, even if it's once a month or something, just to go and get the things off your chest that you can't with an objective list, somebody who's not going to give you their opinion. They're not going to push their feelings on you. They're just going to listen and, give you whatever, maybe some homework to do, some thought projects to do, but they're not going to push their own agenda on you. It's a very relieving thing.
Right. Absolutely agree. Duane said doctors are too quick to jump to conclusions because of the pressure from pharmaceutical companies. That is also true.
Also true.
Which kind of surprises me that he was prescribed a medical marijuana license at such a young age.
Yeah.
Or
It's very
card,
uncommon.
whatever. It is uncommon. But then a few months later, he gets suspended from school for having marijuana on campus, and
which is silly. If he has his card, he should be able to have his prescription just like anybody else.
He was smoking it on campus.
Well,
so.
he should definitely be in trouble for that. Yeah.
But then once, you get suspended from school, you're hanging out with the other kids that got suspended from school, it's a snowball effect. Yeah. So, this guy right here.
He was the dude selling the fentanyl-laced meth to everybody and was making a killing.
It looks like it. Looks like it could be.
Wringing his hands like, nigga, I got all this paper. I'm going to get out and give me some. Yeah, no, he's and he's so young, too. He's into some shit. Very devious.
Are those, like, real height markings on that tape? Is he really that tall?
Like 6'3", 6'4"?
Almost, yeah.
Almost. Yeah, I mean, like, bottom of his hair.
Wow.
It's a lot of hair. He's got, like, 3 or 4 inches of hair there, but he's like, yeah, like 6'2" or 6'3", something like that.
I guess because the camera angle is taken from above.
Yeah, it's like a
short
downward.
guy.
Which means the guard who's taking the picture must be big as fuck.
Right.
Because that nigga's probably holding it here, too. How tall is this guard? He's like
maybe,
8 feet tall.
You know what? The guard might be the homie. He's like, yo, let me get a mugshot from my people. And the guard's like, yeah, I got you, dog.
Nigga, stand on this little box right here. I'm going to get you 3 extra inches.
Give me some of that laced shit that you spreading around to everybody else. I got you.
I think so.
Duane Johnson said Ben Comedy. He charmed the pants off of a female officer. A very tall female officer.
Yeah. And Amazon.
But no. That's the guy I was referring to a few minutes ago. Suspect in 5 Louisiana shooting deaths captured in Virginia.
Okay.
The young man accused of killing 5 people in Louisiana was arrested Sunday morning in Richmond County, Virginia, after briefly pointing a weapon at deputies, Sheriff Steve Smith said. The deputies had been called into the home of a member of Dakota Theriots. Literally, his last name is Theriot. The riot. The deputies had been called to the home of a member of Dakota the Riot's family to check on the residents when the riot pulled up in a vehicle with a gun pointed out the window, Smith said. The deputies sought cover, and the riot dropped the weapon on their commands. He was then arrested. He seems a little tired and a little worn, Smith told CNN. The riot, 21, arrived at the Virginia property after a night on the run. He's accused of killing his parents, his girlfriend, and her father and brother in 2 separate shootings Saturday in Louisiana.
Damn.
Elizabeth and Keith the Riot, both 50, were at their home near Baton Rouge when the suspect killed them, Ascension Parish Sheriff Bobby Weber said. When authorities arrived at the scene, Keith was still alive and told them that his son shot them, authorities said. Dakota's girlfriend, Summer Ernest, and her relatives were found dead in a home 30 miles away. The other victims included her father, Billy Ernest, and her brother, Tanner Ernest, 17, according to authorities. Dakota was dating Summer, and he had lived with the Ernests for several weeks, Livingston Parish Sheriff Jason Ard said. He was recently asked to leave the residence and not return, according to authorities. A 7-year-old and a 1-year-old were found in the home but were unharmed and are now with their mother. Authorities believe the shooting stemmed from a boyfriend and girlfriend type of dispute. This is probably one of the worst domestic violence incidences I've seen in quite a while, Weber said. For a young man to walk into a bedroom and kill his mother and his father and then kill friends in Livingston that he had a connection with. There were no red flags ahead of the 2 shootings Saturday morning, and other than a simple possession of drug paraphernalia charge. The riot had no other run-ins with the Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office, Ard said. The riot has been seen driving a gray and silver 2004 Dodge pickup belonging to Ernest, family authorities said. A Richmond County Sheriff's Office had been told that the riot was believed to have family in Virginia and began searching areas where he was known to have visited, authorities said. The riot family member voluntarily spent the night in a hotel and asked deputies to check on their home before they returned Sunday morning, Smith said. When the riot turned up, God, this article is written horribly. That's when the riot turned up at the residence. It was happenstance, the sheriff said. The riot was taken to Northern Neck Regional Jail and is being held without bond pending a court appearance. He's expected to be taken back to Ascension Parish, Louisiana, and booked on 2 counts of first-degree murder, home invasion, and illegal use of weapons in connection with the slayings of his parents, investigators said Sunday.
Damn, that's wild.
I want to know what the drug paraphernalia was. Just out of curiosity. Sheer curiosity.
Right. It wasn't weed.
Duane said he looks like he's about to preach about something. He did look like it.
Right? I gotta go pee. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Be right back.
Pee. Shawn must have gone back to sleep. Sorry, guys, I'm not trying to be boring and ignoring you. I'll just crank up some pretzel rocks for a minute. Too loud. I can't help but make some of these faces, some of these articles that I'm coming across. It's horrid. We're going to do 2 more articles and then we're going to call it a day because it's been 2.5 hours. And since Shawn's not here and it's me and Josh and we got other shit to do, we're going to call it quits early today. We never do. Well, lately we haven't. We've been really going hard in the paint, but we don't have to paint so hard today. Oh, that's crazy. Crazy. So, you know how the government was shut down? Oh, never mind. That's old. Fuck.
That's old news. Nigga.
Fuck. The headline is TSA workers busted running $100 million cocaine smuggling ring.
What?
Yeah, but it was from 2017.
Okay.
It's like, damn, they got to supplement their income because they're not getting paid.
Yeah.
But this one is today. It's brand new. Groomer accused of strangling pets wants to keep working with animals.
I mean, I want to do a lot of things,
And this is not Florida. Pasco, Washington, a Tri-Cities business owner accused of abusing and strangling her customers' pets, argued in court Tuesday that she should be allowed to continue working with animals while awaiting trial. Michelle L. Burt, owner of 2 pet grooming businesses called Paw Spa in the Tri-Cities, is charged in Franklin County Superior Court with first-degree animal cruelty. Police say at least 1 dog and cat died due to Burt's actions at her Pasco location. Former employees told police that Burt said she controlled animals by cutting off their air supply. Court documents say several other animals required veterinary visits for broken bones and injuries, including chemical burns from a flea bath given without the owner's permission. Burt had pleaded not guilty to the allegations, and she had been ordered to stay away from all pets while awaiting her trial set to begin April 17th. But her attorney argued Tuesday in court that the prohibition is having a direct impact on her business.
it should. You are killing animals,
bitch.
it sounds like.
Duh, bitch. The attorney said Burt should be allowed to return to grooming services with the addition of security cameras inside the facility that allows pet owners to watch video of their animals while they're being groomed.
I'm trying to understand how your defense is, oh, yeah, I choke them out until they're unconscious, and then I do things to them. That's your defense?
That's how I can cut your dog's hair and keep it at a cheaper price because it doesn't take me so long. So I make your dog pass out. Leave it to Ben Comedy. The judge denied the request and ruled the conditions of a release will stay in place, stating that while customers may be aware of alleged actions, the conditions were put in place for the protection of the animals.
That's crazy.
We can do one more. Because since Shawn's not here, I'm sure you've got other shit you could be doing.
What's today?
I'm actually gonna rearrange this wall today and tomorrow, so I don't have to have this thing anymore.
Well, if I go home and that Arctic Silver's there, I'm gonna come back and get the computer. I'll be here and run tests on it. Oh, ooh.
What did they do? Jeff said, "Love 'em customers act like they know more about product you've been selling and researching for over 5 years." That's general America,
right?
Everybody wants to act like they know everything more than you do.
True.
Welcome to America.
First I'm gonna say she's cute. I would smash 100%.
I know you would.
Why?
That's no.
Would you not?
No.
Why?
She looks a little messed out to me.
I know. I like them a little messed out. They're wild in the bed. They got that extra energy.
I can hardly handle the one that I've got.
That's
I'm
fair.
sticking with it.
Yeah, no, I don't think she looks too methy. At least where I'm sitting, she doesn't look like she has like the deep bags under her eyes. Like she's starting to. You can tell she's done it a couple times, but she's recoverable, I think. Yeah, I think we can bring that one back. We can save it. She's just a little dirty. She needs a shower and a cheeseburger. We can bring it back.
And him?
He was pimping her out because he saw that easy money.
Does he look like a pimp?
No. Maybe she was abusing him physically or something.
Like most people have, I'm not gonna say flat shoulders, but shoulders, like a shoulder line. Because when you're feeling like a pimp, go on, brush your shoulders off. He doesn't have any shoulders.
Maybe
to brush
his
off,
trap
bro.
muscles are so big.
Can you?
He can't even get in the picture. He's just so swole.
Come on, dog. He's got way too long of a neck to have traps that.
No, that nigga's weak. He's probably littler than she is.
Can you even droop your shoulders on purpose like that?
No, it hurts my neck.
It hurts.
Yeah.
All right, everybody right now, try to droop your shoulders as much as that guy does.
They have the same pin. That's what I'm saying.
It hurts. But both of them were arrested. For sassing their pimp.
I'm not a fan of girls who shave all their eyebrows off. Like, she has pretty much the Hitler mustache left on her eyebrow.
She went a little pluck happy.
Yeah, she got a little ham on it.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the headlines are. Let's see. Let me see if I can figure out where they're from. Spanish Fork, wherever that is.
Spanish Fork.
Parents arrested for child abuse after 3-month-old found with burns and brain bleeding.
Oh.
So these two were parents together.
Wait. Yeah. That nigga was hitting that?
Yeah. That's what I'm like.
Nigga, I can get that shit easy.
I was waiting.
I'm about to find her in the fucking directory and start. How you doing? I saw the nigga you was with before. He was not that cute. We can beat up some babies together, girl. God. Too much. Okay, my bad.
Oh. Parents of a 3-month-old child were arrested after the child was taken into a hospital with second-degree burns. Later, doctors discovered more injuries, including 2 broken arms, brain bleeding, and detached retinas, court documents state. Police in Spanish Fork recommended Daniel Mercer and Whitney Huber be charged with felony child abuse in connection with the injuries.
They should.
Doctors determined the child's injuries occurred over the past 2 weeks, court documents state. A detective who investigated Mercer and Huber said Mercer admitted to recklessly causing the burns to his infant daughter's left hand, court documents state. After hours of interviewing, though, neither Huber nor Mercer would admit to causing the other injuries for which the child may need surgery. Though he recommended charging Huber with child abuse, the detectives reported she is also believed to be a victim of domestic abuse by Mercer, who was arrested for 2 domestic violence violations in the past 2 months, according to court records.
Oh, see, she needs. I'm Captain Saberho, girl. I'll come swoop you up. You and the baby.
Ben Comedy said ending on a happy note. No, we'll end on a happy note.
Yeah, ending on a happy note.
Still, police report Huber continually allowed Daniel to return to the apartment where he assaults and abused both her and the child. The statement of probable cause reads, the reporting detectives accused Huber of failing to protect her child and seek care for her child's many serious bodily injuries, and wrote that she allowed Daniel to continue to live in and return to her state housing apartment, which is supposed to be for her and the baby only.
Yeah.
The detectives noted Huber previously lost custody of 2 other children after she was charged with child abuse and neglect in a past case. Mercer admitted to making threats against the child, including telling Huber he would kill the baby and make her watch. The probable cause statement reads, Whitney is also a victim in this case. Whitney is also a victim in this case She has been continually manipulated and abused by the primary suspect, Daniel Mercer, the investigator notes. On Tuesday, the Utah Department of Children and Family Services wrote a warrant for the infant's removal from their parents' custody. The child will remain at the hospital for an undetermined amount of time as doctors work to assess the baby's injuries and determine treatments. The investigating detective recommended Mercer be charged with 2 counts of threat of violence, 2 counts of domestic violence in the presence of a child, 2 counts of felony child abuse, as well as some drug charges. Police recommended Huber be charged with 1 count of felony child abuse. Mercer was booked in the Utah County Jail with a recommended bond of $21,600. Recommended bail for Huber was $10,000.
I mean, it gives me hope that I can still get a hot chick if that nigga can get one. It's real sad though, like honestly, that anybody can just have kids willy-nilly. Kind of like we were saying before, you know. You have to go get a license to have a gun, to drive a car, but those 2 idiots can reproduce and just have a kid that they abuse and do anything they want to, and then unleash onto society to burden us with, you know, potential cost and more violent behavior. And I don't know, it's very interesting to me. Like, that's you know, I don't even know what the right word would be, but like dictatorish as it sounds, but I'm almost a fan of like sterilization. Like, people need to not have the ability to reproduce like this willy-nilly.
She got her first 2 kids taken away.
Yeah,
there should be some sort of court
tube time.
Yeah, stuff it. You know, the little fallopian tube.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
maybe something that could be taken out later, I suppose. But
well, most of the things, vasectomies and fallopian tube blockages, supposedly, from my understanding, are able to be reversed. Yeah, at this point. And I think the vasectomy has gotten even easier. So, like, it's as simple as, like, disconnect when they're a baby and reconnect when they're older or something like that.
Right.
From my understanding, I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read. It's as simple as, like, off and on.
I'm trying to find a good news story. Happy news story.
Something to end on.
It's not easy.
Fuck, not in this fucking environment.
Chicago will be colder than Antarctica this week as deep freeze grips the U.S.
Dang it! It has been frigid.
Well, so the northern has the hemisphere has this polar like umbrella that's always over it, but once in a while, as things in the Earth kind of get a little rocky and shaky, it can dissipate. So it's actually gone in 3 different. It's split into 3 different areas now before it sucks it all back up to the north. And that's part of the reason why the northeastern United States is having this huge cold spell, because it's actually Antarctic temperatures.
I would be very fascinated to know how that is. Like, is it like a magnetic something? Like,
is it the polar vortex?
Yeah, like, how is that even possible for, like, cold to be regional specific? How does that... Or is it something about the way the air is pulled?
Polar vortex. What is the 2019 polar vortex weather event? And is global warming to blame? Blah, blah, blah. And yes, according to the Huffington Post, polar vortex is here again. And yes, it's connected to global warming. Don't believe any claims that the cold means global warming is a hoax. A record-breaking cold wave is sending literal shivers down the spines of millions of Americans. Temperatures across the upper Midwest are forecast to fall to an astonishing 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 28 degrees Celsius, below normal this week. God, 50 degrees below
normal?
Not 50 degrees, but below normal.
What would that make it? Like,
as low as 35 degrees below zero.
Wait, what?
Pile of gusty wind on top, and the air will feel like negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit.
Bro.
This cold is nothing to sneeze at. The National Weather Service is warning of brutal, life-threatening conditions.
Yeah.
Frostbite will strike fast on any exposed skin. At that time, the North Pole is facing a heat wave with temperatures approaching the freezing point, about 25 degrees Fahrenheit, 14 C above normal.
Bro,
what is causing this topsy-turvy pattern? You guessed it, the polar vortex. And the past several years, thanks to previous cold waves, the polar vortex has become entrenched in our everyday vocabulary and served as a butt of jokes for late-night TV hosts and politicians. But what is it really? Is it escaping from its usual Arctic haunts more often? And a question that looms large in my research work on the impacts of climate change into the Arctic on weather in other parts of the world. How does global warming fit into the story? Actually, there are two polar vortexes in the northern hemisphere stacked on top of each other. The lower one is usually more accurately called the jet stream. It's a meandering river of strong westerly winds around the northern hemisphere and about 7 miles above Earth's surface near the heights where jets fly. The jet stream exists all year and is responsible for creating and steering the high and low pressure systems that bring us our day-to-day weather. Storms and blue skies, warm and cold spells. Way above the jet stream, around 30 miles above the Earth, is the stratospheric polar vortex. This river of wind also rings around the North Pole, but only forms during winter and is usually fairly circular. Both of these wind features exist because of the large temperature differences between the cold Arctic and warmer areas farther south known as the mid-latitudes. Uneven heating creates pressure differences and airflows from high pressure to low pressure areas, creating winds. The spinning Earth then turns winds to the right in the northern hemisphere, creating these pelts of westerlies. Greenhouse gas emissions from human activities have warmed the globe by about 1.8 degrees Fahrenheit over the past 50 years. However, the Arctic has warmed more than twice as much. Amplified Arctic warming is due mainly to dramatic melting of ice and snow in recent decades, which exposes darker ocean and land surfaces that absorb a lot more of the sun's heat. Because of rapid Arctic warming, the north and south temperatures differences has diminished. This reduced pressure differences between the Arctic and mid-latitudes, weakening jet stream winds. Just as slow-moving rivers typically take a winding route, a slow-flowing jet stream tends to meander. Large north and south undulations in the jet stream generate wave energy in the atmosphere. If they're wavy and persistent enough, the energy can travel upward and disrupt the stratospheric polar vortex. Sometimes this upper vortex becomes so distorted that it splits into two or more swirling eddies. These daughter vortices tend to wander southward, bringing their very cold air with them and leaving behind a warmer than normal Arctic. One of these eddies will sit over North America this week, delivering bone-chilling temperatures to much of the nation.
So the way I'm envisioning it, it's kind of like a cold air tornado dropping down in different spots. Like it's kind of like, because it's 30 feet.
It doesn't swirl
up,
that
right?
fast. It's a slow-moving current.
Huh.
Much like our wind patterns that we...
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm fascinated. I want to know more about this. I'm going to go home and fucking read more about this, because this sounds...
So you can see where it's split. So the United States has it, and
Russia
has a piece.
And what is this?
I saw a report yesterday that it was actually splitting into 3 pieces, but...
Yeah, it looks more like 2 big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's substantial.
As you can see,
that's like all the Great Lakes and like all
the geothermal.
So this is
pictograph from yesterday.
It is up there. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, and I'm sure this heat has a lot. This heat wave right here.
It's probably what's pushing the cold air
Alaska.
out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's look at these two. That's interesting. And Japan is like also in the heat area.
Yeah, that's crazy. And you can't help but wonder what is this right here? What kind of effect is that having on our polar ice caps?
Well, they said it's near melting, so I don't know what exactly that would do. If it's that warm, you would think it would have to at least start potentially melting stuff or letting things break loose. Oh no, we're gonna find out real fast.
Kind of scary.
It's kind of scary.
And we'll end on that note. I'm not gonna read the rest of the article. Here's the link in chat. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're streaming and not using Streamlabs, you're missing out. Download Streamlabs to your phone, computer, laptop, or wherever you use to stream with from our link, and it helps us out too. Get it now. You can find the link below this chat box if you're watching this on a phone or a computer, or you can find the link on the YouTube video after it goes up onto YouTube. And with that, Josh, you got anything else you want to add?
Nah, we'll catch up tomorrow. We'll get it all done.
Shout out to Shawn for being able to sleep in. Shout out to Duane for not being here. We love you anyways. Salty, a little musty. How does it taste? Salty and a little musty. And then I'm gonna go get some shit done.
Same.
Thanks for tuning in. Oh, we gotta find somebody to raid. Fuck, I always forget. Ben Comedy, are you live right now? Duane said, I thought Tom was staying. We made that clear a long time ago that Tom left. A long time ago. Hey, Ben Comedy, appreciate that. Thanks for the shout out.
Okay, mine did
Good
work.
show, mate.
Is it not Shawn?
You may not be able to do it that close together. No, it's Duce.
Oh, it's Duce. That's right. That's why.
D-U-C-E.
Thanks for the cheer.
Hey, good looking. Appreciate that. Lovely cheer, mate.
Thank you, bud. And how do you do his other link? The one for the whatever.
The YouTube thing?
No, his Robinhood. Or does he have to do that?
Exclamation Robinhood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes, Duane, it works from there. Anybody can do the exclamation point commands. Anybody. There you go. Get a stock for free. Sign up and get a free share from companies like Apple, Ford, and Sprint. Free trading because Robinhood doesn't have fees when you buy and sell. With state-of-the-art security measures, your sensitive personal information is fully encrypted and securely stored, so why not give it a try? Sign up with our link below or in the chat or get yourself a free stock today. Yeah, we don't have butts and boobs yet, Ben Comedy, but we'll make some just for you.
Some customs.
We'll create some customs just for you. Are you live right now, Ben Comedy? Because we have to raid somebody. Are you live right now? Are you live right now?
Nope.
Okay. Okay.
It's too bad, friend.
Ah, got you. All right, I'll find somebody to raid.
I should fucking start working on that goddamn review. I'm never gonna get that goddamn thing done.
On what?
Black Panther 2 will be out before the time I get done. That Black Panther review. It's just becoming more and more of a thing because it's one of those things where I want to get everything in that I want to get in. I don't want to skimp on anything, you know. And so it's just becoming more of a time than I thought. My original guesstimation was an hour.
Hey,
I think
man,
it's gonna be 2
anytime
now.
we raid, we try to raid people that show us love. We don't want to just pick random people too much. But.
Oh, damn it. We went this whole podcast, and we just got the first script. I wasn't going to say anything either.
When I started looking through Twitch channels to raid.
Did you not have, what's it called, Discord up today?
No, it was up.
Oh, it was up?
The whole time.
Interesting. Yeah, there seems to be, like, no consistency to it.
CPU's running 98%,
yeah.
96%.
And it hasn't spun up.
Yeah, Ben Comedy, you were like one of the very first people that we started networking with on Twitch. Oh, we don't have our Discord link. Man, there's so much that I keep forgetting to do, and I appreciate you for reminding me. So we got to do boobs.
Butts.
Boobs command, butts command, and Discord command. Yes. Yesterday, I didn't even realize it. I when we raided, I just went through and I clicked on somebody that was in the podcast talking network. It was the Liberty Channel, the Libertarian radio station. I saw a peace sign in the background. I'm like, okay, these guys must be hippies. No, I didn't realize it was the Libertarian Channel. Oh, look, somebody's throwing porn on their Twitch again. 455 viewers blatantly showing porn. There's a girl muff diving. Well, it's nice you got 455 viewers before Twitch bans your account.
Nice.
How's that make you feel? Ben Comedy, go into the browse section and click on just chatting and scroll down a little bit. I am not hosting them. Nope. Nope. If it was legit legal, I might, since my mom's not watching today. But nope. There's a black dude its title is Cooking with Soul. So black dude cooking? I think I can handle that. Let's do that. Thanks for tuning in. We're raiding. Stick around. When we get over to the raid, please type that you're just hanging out with Funkshop, and we're there to show them some love. We'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m.-ish.
Good morning, YouTube, or afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Good news, we're doing a weekly giveaway on our YouTube channel for Amazon gift cards. All you got to do to enter is like the video, give us a subscribe, and comment below. The more comments you give us on the weekly videos for that week, we go Monday through Sunday, the more chances you have of being entered, basically. So I'm going to go through whatever the most creative content is as far as your comments go, and I'll pick a winner, and I'll send you a gift card. It's pretty simple. Free money. Who likes free money? I know I do. Subscribe. Have a good day.